There is no other third world town that rips the bones from your back but also raises you upon a pedestal as Hollywoodland. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism's best TV films of the year.
Shit.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles and I am one ugly motherfucker. Joining me today, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, it's Stig.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Also, your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. It's Biggie, the experiment gone wrong.
Get to the chopper!
Which do Manny quotes?
Toto, I feel like we're not in Kansas anymore. It's Candy.
I'm pregnant. That's the only Arnie quote I could think of.
He's what?
And finally...
Junior. He gets pregnant, doesn't he, Arnie?
Oh my God, come on. I'm trying to introduce people.
Sorry.
And finally, a census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. It's Gadget.
Put the cookie down!
Where did this Arnie shit come from?
I don't know.
One
He
ugly
started
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I try and write nice scripts, listeners, for everyone to enjoy, and they just get interrupted. It's payback because I interrupt everything anyone else says anyway. I get that, but come on. You moan when I don't do a script. You moan when I do a script. I've had enough. That's my Hollywood meltdown.
Looking at a picture of Arnie in my list of films and documentaries from this year. So I was trying to think of a quote and I just saw his face and went, "Oh, you said Arnie, I'll go with Arnie."
It's not a tumor.
Do you like my nails?
Beautiful, then, mate.
Beautiful.
I forgot to do mine. You should have said.
Appreciate you making an effort.
Yeah, the elves got me last night. The elves got me last night.
Ooh, naughty elves.
Yeah,
well, I bet the elves will clean it off before morning for work.
Yeah, they will do.
Unless you have a panic like I had other week where there was no nail varnish remover.
I did one year, not a couple of years ago. I just kept forgetting to do my feet. I was like, I'll do them later, and I'd wake up in the morning and look down in the shower, and I'd be like, oh yeah, but I haven't got time to wipe them off. So I ended up having painted nails for about 2 weeks.
So you haven't had Santa eat the elf yet, then? No,
Santa doesn't eat the elves.
He does.
No,
He's a big guy. Candy, as the expert on Santa, does he eat elves?
He likes cookies and whiskey
Depends.
in this house.
Well, yeah, it depends how scarce things get in the North Pole, I guess.
He lives in the fucking Arctic Circle. It's scarce.
That man can magic
elves
food
over on the
up.
plate.
Can magic food up. So he's a genie now.
Yeah, it seems Santa's magic. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, can't he?
So why is he just doing that then? Why is he just pissing about giving gifts to kids?
Because he chooses to.
Why isn't he solving world
He's
hunger?
a good man.
He's not that good, is he? Works one day a year. Christ.
Part-time.
Easy.
Yeah, he can only do.
Let's see his tax returns.
I bet he don't have to pay his tax return if he's powerful. Anyway, how's everyone been?
Yeah, good.
Right.
I've been alone for the whole weekend, so I've been consistent. My entire existence has consisted of beer and takeaways. So I'm feeling rather rotund today. Yeah.
Wanked out
At
completely.
least it wiped out.
No, wanked out.
Run out of Kleenex.
I enjoyed the football results this weekend. That's all I'll say.
Yes, we did.
Bet you did. Who were playing there, Biggie?
What do you mean you were playing? Tottenham v Newcastle.
The teams.
Liverpool.
The teams.
The teams. What do you mean
Just
the
want to make
teams?
sure you know who we're playing.
Yeah, Liverpool Palace.
I mean, there were many men out there, and I hear balls were kicked.
Definitely.
Did the goodies win or the baddies?
The goodies.
so
Depends which side you're looking at. Yeah, the goodies
there
on
is
my side.
I'm going to say, it all depends either where you live, where your loyalties lie. There's a lot of baddies in football, a lot. But Candy, did you get any carol singers for your feet tattoos or whatever?
Not yet, no. That's an offer that expires next week, so there's still time. I will
If anyone's
also, I will also
in the
extend
Western
it to
area.
people. Yeah, I will also extend it to people who want to bring me mince pies, bottle of wine. That's fine too.
Yeah. Cheap tattoos for a price of festive spirit. No, wrong with
argue with that.
That's good. You're a philanthropist.
I think so.
Candy's running her own Comp City competition.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
she is. Speaking
I
of
can't
Comp
make them butts.
City. Speaking of Comp City, guys, I really need to know what's been going on in the world.
Hey,
And the man that likes
terrible
Comp City
segue.
as much as
The
the
worst.
next is Biggie. It's time for Biggie's breaking news.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
All along the news tower, Biggie said the news. While all the stories came and went, breaking once, two. Well, outside in the distance, a wild gadget did growl. Two podcasters were approaching, and Biggie begins to howl. Hey! And then cue guitar riff, so I can't do it.
has someone just bought you like a best of dad rock album recently? Because your last
say,
few
Whoa,
new
whoa, whoa,
songs
Jimi
have been,
Hendrix.
like, dad rocks.
Dad rock, what are you talking
Jimi Hendrix is
about?
dad rock pal.
Absolutely dad rock.
I'm not saying
Oh,
it's
that's
bad.
pal.
Ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Also, that's going to be
Unbelievable.
nearly impossible for Gadget to go over that in the edit, because that's not an easy song to sync to a live performance. Never mind this, whatever that was.
Don't even know if there's any like official instrumentals of that song.
It's the egg.
My dad used to get those albums all the time. You know, like Dad Rocks Volume 6.
No, that's what I
Drive
call dad
time.
rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. Jimi Hendrix, man. He's
And it used
Like
to have
dad
like
rock.
yeah, it was basically just
Unbelievable.
like Queen and is it Stiltskin? What's that one?
Status Quo.
Yeah, Status Quo was on there.
Oh,
Genesis.
the Quo. Everything Jeremy Clarkson would listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, Golden Earring. By Radar Love, Golden Earring.
Oh, Boys Are Back in Town was on. Boys Are Back in Town was on
Finlay's-
every single album.
Yeah.
Anyway, breaking news.
you guys are fake rockers, man.
Fake rockers. You need to grow up, pal.
There's been no news this week. Next.
Perfect.
Well, actually, there has been a few.
Oh, you got
GTA
your
6
noodles.
dev laments unfortunate trailer leak, saying this fucking sucks. A low-quality version of the official Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer was uploaded by an anonymous Twitter account emblazoned with
Me.
grubby crypto watermarks, which quickly oozed its way across the internet. In response, Rockstar published the genuine article early, dejectedly writing, "Our trailer has leaked, so please watch the real thing on YouTube." The proper trailer is, of course, fantastic, and surprising no one, GTA 6 looks like it's going to be incredible.
I leaked it because as much as I like GTA and Rockstar, I still don't like corporations. So I thought, fuck it, take it to the man. I leaked it. It was my crypto, hashtag
Crypto
crypto
Kenny.
chain. Yeah, it was me. I leaked
a
it all
menace.
over.
I think-
Minutes later, they uploaded theirs.
I think the person who actually leaked it was someone who worked in YouTube who actually could get in the back end and download the video.
He's gonna get sued to fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
For
Well,
nothing.
apparently-
sending me cease and desists in the post.
Well, I just think it's a shame because they were actually so close to getting the most watched video in 24 hours,
Yeah.
but then they've definitely got the most watched gaming trailer ever in 24 hours. But from what I understand is they wanted to do like a streaming at one time because they knew this is the time everyone needs to be on to see it if you want to see it straight away.
Yeah.
And I think they were going for that. The
Yeah,
most amount of people.
They'd marked it on YouTube as a premiere. So
Yeah.
when it comes up as a premiere, while it's doing its first run, if you click into it, you can't scroll backwards. Like you watch it live, and then once it's done, you can watch it on demand as much as you want.
Yeah. But
I know it overtook the very famous, in the tech industry, the very famous bendy iPhone video from Teardown.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest, in the tech industry, the biggest videos ever watched, ever, still to this day. And that just went, it's rampant. And I think there was one massive PewDiePie one where he was being a racist or something. There was one of those. I
The
don't
only
know.
thing I think it didn't beat
don't know these things.
was BTS. Was a BTS video?
BTS, yeah, they were mentioned. Taylor Swift were mentioned as well. These really big, high, like 1 billion, and maybe not 1 billion, but 10 million views on a certain amount of time, and it's still ongoing. It's still racking up views because people are watching it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times.
I've just looked at it now. It's so as of recording 5 days ago, it came out. It's at 138 million views
For a 90-second trailer.
Do they monetize
impressive.
that?
No, because it's under a certain time. You've got to be over 3 minutes to monetize
3
it.
minute. It's like the TikTok thing. You've got to do it over a minute, haven't you?
Why the fuck won't they make a 3-minute long video then? Just so they could.
They don't care about that.
They don't need to.
that.
They're a corporation. Money's money, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're a
we're still on
corporation, one of the richest in gaming as well.
Anyway, shall we talk about the actual trailer?
Trailer's great.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice bit of Tom Petty in the
Tom
background.
Petty, yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Petty's all over Spotify now.
There's I've been enjoying seeing like all the little breakdowns of like the little details in it. Like you get the shot of the
I haven't
beach
watched
side.
any of them.
No, you get the shot of the beach side and there's a plane carrying a banner behind it. And it says Y69 when you can 919.
I can't wait to barrel through all those people on the beach in my car.
It looks so like lived in, doesn't it? Like GTA 5 had a lot of cars and people in it, but this.
Do you think some of it was like
incredible.
enhanced for the trailer though? That density
Possibly.
on that beach was just
If you
unreal.
look at the trailer for Red Dead 2 and what the final outcome was looked better.
it did,
This
didn't it?
This still has 2 years to go.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah.
they might have played around with it a little bit, but I think that's about as close as you're going to get.
They
Especially
only
like the amount of people
they only
and
usually play around with like
cars.
shadowing and lighting, don't they, on trailers? It doesn't really change much graphically.
puddles.
Puddles, yeah. I reckon that it's going to be like mid-generation cycle, isn't it? As well, mid. So it's going to be they're going to know it back to front.
I think as well
Probably will look amazing.
I think as well they're doing the same thing they did with both GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, which is releasing console first, then PC later.
Yes, they are definitely.
Makes fucking
And
sense,
it's-
doesn't it?
Not unsurprisingly, it's not getting a PS4 version. It's all current gen too.
No, you look at that and that's not running on a PS4.
Yeah.
When did it say it was
do you
coming
reckon-
out?
Are you,
2025?
2025,
2025.
So do you think that'll be around the same time as we get a PS5 Pro, coincidentally?
Yes.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But do you think like it's going to be like the first like 200 gigabyte game?
Easily. It's going to be massive.
It has to be, doesn't it?
There's a part of me that wonders if they'll even bother releasing it on a disc.
That's what I was thinking, because like it's just going to take it's like 3 discs or something like that. It's just not going to be enough.
Well, I mean, Red Dead's already 2 Blu-rays. Cyberpunk's
Yeah,
2
I know.
Blu-rays. And those games are going to be significantly smaller than this. I mean, I've seen the supposed leak of the map, which I don't believe for a minute, but even then it's like an order of magnitude larger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 200
Does
gig,
it-
isn't it? It's going to. I mean, taking that Call of Duty at the moment, it's about 200 fucking gig, and you
Yeah.
only get half a game.
I
So did
can't
the
believe
trailer meet your expectations for what you're expecting? I know we haven't seen much of the game, but just in the sense
I
of
did.
what
I saw
they're
all
trying
them
to get
leaks
across.
last year. It was identical to what them leaks I saw. But
Like,
a lot of people
graphically, it looks
refuse
great.
to watch.
Gameplay, it looks like a GTA. We've got a woman protagonist for the first time.
I think it's going to be 2 protagonists, isn't it? But
It's going to be.
It's nice.
Looks like a Bonnie and Clyde
Intertwined.
style.
She seems badass. That he seems bad. The strong emphasis on social media culture, TikTok culture, is fantastic and fascinating.
Yeah.
It's modern.
Well, they took a load of clips from real life, didn't they?
Yeah.
To put in there.
Yeah.
The absolute Florida-ness of it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's that clip in the trailer, like security cam footage of that guy robbing a liquor store with an alligator,
Yeah.
which is a real
which
thing that happened.
Yeah.
Like I suspect there are going to be a lot of like kind of random in-world events that were generated from Florida Man Does.
I mean,
Are they going to
fact
try and
is-
sue Rockstar like everybody else seems to be coming out the woodwork? Oh,
He
this
won't be
person
able
looks
to.
just like me.
Good luck suing them. But
The Miami Joke has already gone to TikTok and said he's not
Yeah.
happy with the
That's not going to work,
tattooed
though, is
bloke.
it?
He's still
It
gonna.
looks
We
nothing
need
like
to talk. And then the guy who voices Arthur Morgan was just like, "No, they don't." He goes, "If you were clever about this, you'd use this to to
Build
pick
your
up
brand.
build your brand, and actually play off
Own
it.
your own likeness.
Yeah, rather than trying to go after the company who has much more money than you.
Yeah,
Better
because it worked out so well for Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Look nothing like her. But I just have to say, I will have to say as well, like, if you're not somewhat tickled or excited by this in any way, you're dead inside if you're into this industry, if you're into game, because there was nothing negative. It just seems like, here we go, another playground, but this time in the sun, in the swamp.
People find negative things. There's like,
I don't
the
know
facial
how.
animations look rubbish. This looks rubbish. That looks rubbish. I'm like, just get a grip. Like, that looks incredible. Like, someone literally, Gadget knows. We've seen the Twitter of it. It's
The
got
AP.
a picture. Yeah, it's got a picture of real life and a picture of GTA, and he literally commented saying, "Real life still looks better." And I'm like, no fucking shit. Like, is that how petty you're getting now that you're comparing real life to stuff just because you're weird online losers? Anyway, it looks incredible.
He's literally tweeted about 37 minutes ago. I just have to go check where it's apparently the most replayed moment of the GTA 6 trailer is like when that model is like turning around in a bikini. And he's just tweeted, hormonal marketing, back at it again. I expect better, Rockstar. Unprofessional.
Rockstar? Has he not played a single GTA game?
You know, this person you're talking about, it's not really like that. You know that. It's parody.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, he has uploaded videos before, and he does sound... fuck knows. I don't care.
putting it on.
But he's part of this kind of online thing who has to find fault at everything.
Well, again,
We'll get onto
soulless-
that when it comes to the Game Awards.
You're a soulless twat. Don't be boring. It looks amazing. It looks like GTA is the kind of game that you can make how you want to be. You don't have to go around running people over on a beach. You can stop at traffic lights. You can be a good citizen.
What?
Yeah, you can. You can play it how
Well,
you
why
want
would
to
you?
play it. I know, why would you? But you can. So you can't be offended by something that you don't actively have to engage in. That's how I say it.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what they do with the online as well, or whether they're going to like keep current online as it is for a while and just let it be a campaign
That
game.
makes sense. They'd probably do what they did with 5 and launch online way after. And by the way, Kurt, I haven't forgot about our bet. It looks like I owe you a copy of this game when it comes out.
What was the bet? I can't
I-
remember. What was it?
I said that it's going to be only online only.
No, this is definitely a campaign.
It's definitely a campaign, so, I always pay my debts, so it looks like I'm buying his copy, unless it's 80 quid.
He probably forgot, so he probably shouldn't have mentioned.
No, I'm a man of honour. I'm a man of honour. I'll buy that man his copy. I will buy that man his copy. And my copy as well.
On that note,
Next.
we do have a Patreon that you can subscribe to for starting at £1 a month.
I mean, he's earned it anyway. He's been paying us a while, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's earned a
What
copy back
Oodles
from
really
me.
means is he's going to buy it, blast through it in a weekend, finish it, and send it on.
I never said, in that bet, I never stipulated when I was giving him the copy. Just that I was buying it him. Shut up, Stig. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin the plan. Next.
We had the Game Awards this week for 2023. I've got the full winners list here, but I don't have to obviously go through all of them. Is there any standouts for you guys? There's obviously Game of the Year was won by Baldur's Gate 3, unsurprisingly, I guess.
Much to the annoyance of some idiots on the internet.
I
Who
only care
apparently
about
believe
the
Spider-Man 2 should have won.
I only care about the esports celebrity of the year.
Well, I didn't put that in, so I'm sorry to disappoint you and anyone else that wanted that.
I don't think it is a
Alan Wake.
category, mate.
2 picked up a few for game direction, best narrative, and
Actually,
art
it picked
direction.
up more than I was expecting. I was expecting it to do quite well, but I think it did better than... I mean, everyone sort of knew that Baldur's Gate was going to clean up, but yeah, Alan Wake did well, I thought.
I'm glad Alan Wake got the ones it got. Like, the narrative in the game is incredible. The effort that they've put in with the direction is unreal. Like, it's one of the
'cause
most
it's-
directed
it's-
games.
And it's so different to what anything else is doing at this time. It does deserve that, especially at a narrative standpoint as well. It's doing so much difference. It's not a cut and shut point A to point B game, is it? It's subtle in its intricacies.
Yeah.
It's very good. I did notice that Jeff didn't seem like he was on cocaine this year. Also, that he's got a lot of celebrity guests this year as well. He's got Shamalot Charlemagne,
I
Timothy
really
Charlemagne,
enjoyed-
whatever
I
he's called.
really
Sorry, can you
Charlemagne.
wrap it up a bit, please? Can you wrap it up?
Exactly.
Oh, don't get me started on that shit.
I really enjoyed that they introduced Chalamet by his YouTube channel name.
Oh, he's got a YouTube channel, I think.
He used to have a YouTube channel. I think he customized Xbox controllers, and his name was something controller.
And we had Matthew Mahogany.
Yep,
He's
turned
part of
up.
the game, though, isn't he?
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Introducing that.
We had Captain America. He turned up, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
He was good.
The Twisted Metal Eye.
Who looked very annoyed that Twisted Metal didn't win Best Adaptation.
Yeah.
Not
We got quite a few
surprised.
things. We got some good. The Game Awards orchestra is really good. I don't know what real
orchestra's
orchestra
great.
they are. They
I
must
love
be a
that guy in
different
the front.
orchestra.
He was playing every instrument
The woodwind
that
guy.
God has ever created.
Yeah,
and I
he's
didn't recognize
amazing.
any of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I
They're
I
all
thought
variations on flutes.
a lot. I mean, I think you're watching the wrong thing if you're just there for announcements, because it's all about the pomp and, do you know what I mean, the glamour of the awards. And I think Jeff put on the best show he's probably put on, and it was good that he had bouncers this time, didn't he, at the front?
He did.
I
I saw
noticed that.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think they had a limit on how many people could come up at once as well? Because I noticed
Yes.
no one brought more than
Yes.
4. So it probably was a
Absolutely.
limit of 4.
And it seemed planned in an aspect that people that won the big ones, they were in studio, they weren't dialing in.
Yeah,
So it was kinda
I do think that
planned well.
Jeff needs to rejig its legs. It was a 3-hour show. I stayed up for the whole thing. That was a fucking mistake.
I skipped most of it.
It's a 3-hour show. Only like 28 minutes were the actual awards. The rest of it was trailers and adverts.
Adverts.
And there is a need for that, but I think as well, like, they rush people on. Like when Neil Newbong got the best performance as Astarion from Baldur's Gate, and he was
got cut
given
off,
this
didn't he?
really lovely impassioned speech, and after 30
Yeah.
seconds they cut him off. Same when Sven got up in his nice shiny armor to pick up the Game of the Year
That
award.
was so good.
They only gave him 30 seconds. It's like, hang on a second. For the Game of the Year, let the man... Like, they were playing him off as he was talking about one of the members of the team who died this year. It's like, come on, give the man a chance.
If he
you
wants
know?
it to be the game in Oscars, he needs to give him more time, because in the Oscars, they don't have 30 seconds.
No,
They've
like
got
we
a
know,
couple of minutes.
we know last year, obviously, Christopher Judge did take
Took
the
the piss.
piss. He took the piss. That's not a reason for this
And
year.
he did
to just
this
play
year as
people
well.
off after 60 seconds. Christopher Judge got longer in his intro than fucking
Everyone
Neil
else
Newbong
did.
got with his actual acceptance awards.
And then,
Like,
and then
come
you
on.
get like Jeff like rattling through 5 awards in a minute.
yeah,
You know, like, it would have been nice to have the audio team from Hi-Fi Rush come up to collect their award, because the audio in that game was great.
Oh, what about the one that we all voted for, the listeners' choice or the viewers' choice? And he just skipped over it like it was nothing. He spent ages doing that, me.
Or could we,
fucking ages.
could we not have heard from Final Fantasy 16's composer, because, you know,
I know.
amazing music in that game? And
But we still
that-
have a
Best
10-minute Muppet
ongoing
section.
game, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that was a fucking weird one, because that's an ongoing game. That's them just finishing it.
Does an ongoing game mean live service game?
Yeah, like
Something
Apex
call it that.
Legends, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14.
Well, I can tell you now, Cyberpunk doesn't need the internet to run. It's not a service game.
No.
Huh.
But
Yeah, I think the actual ceremony, if he could condense it, like you said, I think it's best when he's done. It was just a bit dull.
it was
But,
it was
like,
a good Jeff. this year.
Professionally, it was good.
Yeah. And
I think the winners, everything was right with the winners. I don't, unless you're Spider Bro, then
Mate, I
everything-
loved Spider-Man 2.
yeah. But me and you are able to think critically. Like, we're able to go, yeah, we love Spider-Man 2, but at the same time, Baldur's Gate was better, Tears of the Kingdom was better, Alan Wake was better. So it doesn't matter all these people crying about the fact that Baldur's Gate won. We're going to beat the other two in that category. And in my opinion, Mario Wonder's better. So
Yeah.
it's like-
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know. I don't have that kind of mindset where I've got like some kind of affiliation with any of it.
Oh, TikTok is just. I've just been watching the people having breakdowns because they think Spider-Man should have won, and because the Spider-Man
They all should have won.
Yuri, what's his name, didn't win best
Yuri
performance.
Lowenthal.
And they're like, "Oh, Baldur's Gate looks like a mobile game. I've never even heard of Baldur's Gate." And I'm like going, "It isn't that what game you've heard of most award.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter."
It's also kind of telling on yourself that if you haven't heard of Baldur's Gate or you aren't aware of the cultural impact of it, you have a really narrow view of the gaming space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what's more is there are video game content creators saying this.
Yeah, this is not just a niche PC game either, is it?
So how can you be a
No.
video game content creator and not know about the biggest like games of the year? And then you go onto their content, you see, they play 2K basketball and COD and PlayStation
Like Biggie.
exclusives, and that's all.
Well,
Yeah, but
I don't play
Biggie knows
basketball.
about them, doesn't he? At least, like, even if he doesn't play them, like, he'll know about them
I think there were only actually
because he's
two
part of one of the best podcasts to
upsets.
talk about it.
I think there were only two upsets that people weren't expecting, and that was Best Sports, which went to Forza Motorsport, because I thought that reviewed quite poorly.
They said it was one of the worst ones in a while, wasn't it? That
Yeah, so like a lot of people expected either to go to F1 23 or
yeah, because everyone's saying
24.
F1 one's the best one ever.
And the other one was Street Fighter 6 getting Best Fighting Game. I think a lot of people expected Mortal Kombat 1 to get it.
No. Street Fighter 6 is the best fighting game of this year.
It's one or the other, from what
I've
I've
put
heard. People
hours
say.
and hours and hours in 6, and I haven't even touched Mortal Kombat 1 yet, and I normally do. I've not been like into. I'm just waiting for Tekken. That's all I'm doing. I'm sat here waiting for some Tekken.
And I am happy that Armored Core 6 got Best Action Game. It's the only one it was nominated for, but it deserves it.
What one most anticipated one? Because GTA 6 couldn't.
Final Fantasy
qualify, could
7
it?
Rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gagging for that.
It would
It was
either
up
been that or
against
for me.
Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Well, Star Wars.
Was Silk
Outlaws,
Song in all this?
and Tekken 8, yeah.
Oh, don't get me
Tekken 8,
fucking
I am
started on that because
Silk Song wasn't even in that list because they were just like, we have no idea when it's coming out, so we're not going to put it in that list.
It's never coming out. No, but Tekken 8 should be on that list.
Jeff did one of
Tekken
the
8 was on that
reveals,
list.
and
Good.
and I was fucking furious because he started off. So we've got a reveal now from a little indie company in Australia. We haven't heard from them for a few years. I'm like, it's Silk Song. It's fucking Silk Song.
Not Team Cherry, is
no,
it?
it was fucking House. It was the Untitled Goose Fuckers. Oh,
Oh, with that little game with them little blob people
Yeah.
running around.
but just the way he
Crap.
built that up, I was fucking furious at that. It's like fucking Gamescom when he did the whole fucking Pizza Hut thing.
Oh
with,
God,
Final
we
Fantasy.
didn't talk about that.
On the adverts are terrible, but they
Yeah.
always are. That's what pays for it. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good show. Somewhat dull in bits. I could have had it condensed, like you say, Gadget.
Just one more
That's what it
thing.
needs to work on.
Has Kojima just given up naming his games now? just
initials.
just letters. PT,
He
DS2.
always does.
What's
he
this new
always
one called?
does-
Whatever that is, like OT or OD. Yeah.
OD.
Saves on
But
typing.
He always does them as projects at first, doesn't he? Because Death Stranding wasn't Death Stranding at first.
It was Project DS at first.
Yeah, he always does that, and then he releases the final trailer with the real title on it. He's always done that.
I mean, remember he announced Metal Gear Solid 5 with a different game. We called it The Phantom Pain.
The Phantom Pain, Moby Dick Studios.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Him and Jordan
so-
Peele.
speak-
I'm excited for
Speak of the announcements, what's people excited for from it?
that.
There were quite a list here, so I'm not going to go through it as always. Just any outstanding announcements. I thought the Sega one was an interesting one. That came
yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing
5 games
remasters,
going.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Not new games.
They all look
aren't
kind of interesting, actually.
Remakes, yeah.
No, they're new games in the franchises.
they? Yeah, new
Yeah,
games.
I'll take
Not-
another Jet
not remakes.
Set Radio, as long as it's not Xbox exclusive. Because I know Sega and Xbox.
Golden Axe, baby.
yeah.
Womp womp.
He's just mad.
Exclusive.
Just mad that he can't get on the Kojima love unless he buys an Xbox.
I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. It'll be shit. It'll be shit. Black
Black Myth Wukong coming out in August. That looks tasty still.
Yeah, that's been teased for a few years. That one, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a Chinese one.
Chinese
Monster
Dark
Hunter
Souls.
Wilds. Oodles, we're up for that one, aren't we?
That's my number one. Bit of Wilds, but then again, I've got to wait till early 2025 because Capcom do the beginning of the year thing, don't they? They always have.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Got free God of War DLC for the roguelike mode.
Whatever.
It's nice that it's free.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with
Never
that
heard of
game
it.
now. Like,
I'm currently playing the Final Fantasy 16 thingy DLC. It's really good. That
Ooh, yeah, I
Shadow
need to
dropped that
download
night.
Yeah.
It's
With
good.
the exception of the biggies, I like the look of
Biggie's
Lost
here.
Records. The big ones. I like the look of Lost Records. I thought that looked cool. That's
Is that the Don't Nod one?
the what one?
Yes,
Is that the Don't Nod one?
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I thought
that one.
that piqued my interest.
Skull and Bones looks good.
It looks
never
better
coming
than what
out.
they originally showed us, doesn't it?
It's never
It's not
coming
just
out.
boat the game.
It's coming out in February, apparently. Oh no,
I don't believe them. It's had 4 release dates so far.
Yeah.
And it's completely different game from what they originally announced. Completely.
I like that. I mean, I'm sad it's not coming out this year, but Space Marine 2 got a September release date, so I'm happy about that.
I will be definitely all over No Rest for the Wicked, because that's by the team that make Ori, and those games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
That
good.
looks good.
Amazing.
And that did look good.
Jurassic Park Survival could be interesting. It looks like Alien Isolation on Isla Nublar.
Yeah,
That looks
hope
like a
for
good.
that.
That looks like a good game that I'll never play. I'll add that to my list. I'll add that to the library and just never get around to it.
Hellblade as well looks graphically
yeah.
looks incredible.
Oh yeah, that's one I will play. Oh, Blade as well.
Hellblade.
Blade looks.
Xbox shite.
Interestingly, with Blade, they haven't come out and said that that's Xbox exclusive yet, even though it's made by Arcane.
Blade is. That's going to be Xbox exclusive.
It didn't have-
It's got shit graphics.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm
it didn't look the
joking.
best, did it?
you got a bit of sand in your vagina about that one, Noodles.
Oh god, it's so itchy. I need some. What's it called?
Douche.
Flush cream.
At least you got a new
you-
mech game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That looks good. That looked good.
and Legend of Visions of Mana, rather, not Legend of Mana.
Yeah, well, they're always solid games, but that makes me think like a Square Enix forgetting that Dragon Quest 12 is supposed to be coming out. Are they just forgetting? Am I having to wait another 3 years? Is it going to be
Might
the
have to.
7-year cycle all over again?
I was going to say it was a long time between Dragon Quest 8 and 11 that you got to play.
It's fucking forever. No, I played 9. Yeah, 10. I still never got to play.
Light No Fire looks interesting. That's the new one from Hello Games.
See that I like the look of, but I'm a really big fan of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I will not be buying it until they inevitably fix it. I remember what happened with No Man's Sky.
Maybe they've learned
Sean
their
Murray is not
lesson.
a man to be trusted.
I liked it when it first launched as well. I don't care what anyone says. It was good.
There were literally dozens of you.
I've never seen a game like this before, but I'm just literally looking through the reveals now. There's a Harmonium, the musical, like
That looks great.
a musical game.
But
Like
it's
an
also
actual,
a musical game where the lead character is deaf.
Yeah, like a narrative, but like like a
Yeah.
Disney film. Yeah, that's interesting.
Could be interesting, couldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, there was
not
some
much
there was
else.
good stuff.
I saw the
you-
new Dragon Ball game. Ooh. Let's go.
Oh, Guilty Pleasure. Rocket Racing looked quite fun.
Rocket
It's out
Racing
now.
looked fun.
Yeah.
It's
It's
out
out?
now. Yeah.
What was
I'll play it then. Fuck.
that one
Dropped
with
the same diet.
What was that one with McCogney? It was Exodus.
Exodus, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck have you written in here, Biggie? Sci-fi RPG Exodus looks all right.
I didn't put that in. That's from the website I got it from.
Ruin his script.
But it fits. It fits.
Yeah, Exodus looks interesting because it's kind of making me think it's just Interstellar the game.
Or Mass Effect. Looks very Mass Effect-y.
It's got a bit of Mass Effect to it, yeah. So yeah, there was some interesting stuff. And what was the other one I liked? Oh yeah, that Metaphor Refantasio, which is the Persona one. Persona devs one.
Yeah.
But it's Persona, but not Persona.
I just don't want it to be a bit child rapey like the last game. Persona 5's a bit...
It's a bit nonsense Persona 5. That's why I stopped playing it.
More than I can stomach. Do you know what I mean? And I like
They're doing all
weeb
their
games.
reloaded remakes as well, aren't they?
You just had to qualify that. I like weeb games, but
I do, but I just think this. I don't really trust them. I don't trust Sega. Come on, Sega, for fuck's sake.
I mean, it's probably going to be Xbox exclusive, isn't it? Anyway, so you're going to hate it anyway.
Yeah, it'd be crap. What if they said Dragon Quest is Xbox exclusive? What am I going to do?
You'd be fucking
that
swinging from the rafters.
PS5.
I can't sell my PS5. I've got so much on there.
Yeah, you can go back to it another time.
It's also propping up the south corner of your house.
Yeah, it's part of the part of the load bearing wall now. That's how I got my extension in. Kid's bedroom, that Val. I can't get rid of that. But yeah, you never know. By that time, I might have a 120 quid Xbox that I can buy or something like that. You know what I mean? Certainly not going to get an S because I feel like they're going to cancel that halfway through this cycle.
Yeah, I think they're going to phase that out.
I think they should never have done that.
never done it in first.
I know why they did it, but it's just it's hampered development on some games.
It has. I agree.
But anyway.
One thing that the Game Awards didn't cover because of their fucking ridiculous timing things, Baldur's Gate 3 is now out for Xbox.
Oh,
Swen didn't have the time to announce it.
That's nice for Xbox. If you're an Xbox only person, scumbag, get it played. Get it played.
Yeah. So you don't get couch co-op if you're playing it on the S, but if you get playing it on the X, you get parity with the PS5. That's how they got around it, because basically that's why it couldn't release at the same time.
What about the promise that they made to us at the beginning that everything's going to be exactly the same for both consoles? They've lied to us. They're not the goodies after all. Boycott Xbox.
I think basically when Microsoft saw like the sales numbers on the PS5 and the PC of Baldur's Gate 3, they go, yeah, we're going to have to be flexible on this rule.
I don't think, in all truthfulness, I don't think anyone gives a fuck as long as it's out on some format. Yeah. Get on it, guys. Please do yourself a favour. Even if it's out your comfort zone, play it. Next.
Just the troubles at Bungie continue as the devs say the atmosphere is soul-crushing amid layoffs, cuts, and fear of a total Sony takeover. Destiny 2 and Marathon developer may not be able to cling to the last of its independence forever. They basically have a board that's split between Bungie and Sony, and there's one person who's supposed to have the independent vote. And depending on the way it's going, they may end up, because they're not apparently reaching financial goals and stuff like that, with all the problems they've been having, Sony could end up taking it over completely.
It's probably going to happen, isn't it? But this to paraphrase Neil Newbound on this, it's like he was saying that it's one of the greatest years for gaming, but also one of the worst years for gaming as a medium, because
no, that was Ben Starr.
Ben Starr. All these pretty boys look exactly the same to me. Pretty boys,
pretty boys voice and pretty boys.
I love them all, but.
I know you do.
But, Ben Starr said that then. And it is, isn't it? It's such a juxtaposition. It's one of the worst for the industry in decades. Like,
there's been something like 10,000 layoffs.
We're almost heading towards another crash, like bigger than the 70s, late 70s, because there's more people working them nowadays. And it's going to be cost more. But we're also having these fantastic labours of love coming out. It's such a... for Bungie, of all people that... in the hearts of like gamers as well, they've been going with us for like 20 years or something now, isn't it? When they really got big, like with Halo. I love Halo.
Bungie's been around since like the late 80s, and like Marathon was their first big hit, and then Halo blew them into the stratosphere.
But that's what I mean. We've all got the love for them, and we would love to support them. Even now they're on PlayStation and they're just sticking with Destiny. But I said it in our Discord. I don't think you can rest on your laurels on just one IP. I don't think you can. And I think investors know this.
Sony got them in to do the
Marathon
to help overlook the
online
live service, didn't they? Yeah. But even that's not gone well for Sony. So
yeah, I think it's more of a case that Bungie need to
expand the portfolio.
I think they need to finish Destiny. I think it's holding them back as a studio.
Yeah, and end the saga.
Not good. Yeah, end the story and
end
just
Destiny
keep it going
2.
And Destiny 2. Like
Destiny 3?
No, come back in years later. Come back years later.
They announced that they were bringing back Marathon, which I was all up
looks
for.
Like Destiny.
Turns out that's just another live. It looks like Destiny. It's a live service extraction game. It's like, no, do something creatively interesting.
Do something different.
You're a big studio with a lot of people. You can do these things.
It's just
fucking hell.
Sorry, too soon. But it's just really sad. But I think a lot of companies have been resting on the laurels. Like, you're not all epic that literally survive on Fortnite. You can't be that. No, that's a lightning in a bottle, once in a lifetime thing, isn't it? You've got to expand.
Yeah, also, I think there is an argument to be said that if the game isn't performing well, if they're not making the money, they're missing their targets. Sony probably should take them over and replace the board, because they're obviously not managing the company properly and the product.
A company that knows how to deal with shit.
I've got no sympathy for C-suite level employees.
No.
Like, fuck them off and get in people who know how to run.
It's really sad for the office workers and all these guys. And
sympathy, lots of sympathy for them. But the ones in the boardroom, they can get fucked.
Yeah, they just need to. Again, I don't know how to run a company, but expand your portfolio. Listen to the people that pay for your game or service. Listen to your overlords, Sony, because they're the ones funding you, and just, I don't know, if you are overseen by someone as big as Sony, take risks, do something different. You've got the backing. Remember, Sony helped release Death Stranding, the weirdest fucking game in recent memory. They don't care. The Post Simulator. They don't care. As long as you can prove that investment's worth it, we won't take drastic measures by just liquidizing your board and now you're ours, and you will do something different. Which again makes
they're not EA.
He makes that environment toxic, like Biggie says, because they're scared now that the corporate overlords are going to run in with the suits and the big red briefcase and go, "You're sacked, you're sacked, you're sacked, you're sacked." All the heads of the departments are going to fuck off probably. It's miserable, it's awful, but they've kind of done it to themselves. You can't blame us, the consumers, for not wanting to consume what they're feeding us. I know it sounds like I'm being harsh, but that's just how I see it.
No, it makes
I agree.
They need to finish Destiny 2 and do something new.
As much as it's a lovely game and people love it, come on now, just cowgun it. Simple.
Make something that can accept new players. Jesus fucking Christ.
Do that as well. Yeah, I need to stress, it's sad for the office workers and people that work there and anyone affected by layoffs. It's minging, and again, one of the worst years for that in recent, if not ever, at the actual. What did you say it was? The total figure is something of all devs and stuff.
Oh, it's about 10,000 people.
That is insane. That's more than who worked on computer games in the last computer game crash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the crash that's coming, I don't think it's going to be the same as the one in the 80s.
Things aren't going to stop.
People stop. No, in the 80s, people stopped buying video games, and that's why the market
That's not
crashed,
what's going to happen.
They were just shoveling out shite. This is going to be, I think it's going to be like a traditional publishing crash.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot more smaller studios pop up, making smaller, cheaper games and independently published.
Yes, that's what I mean. I don't mean no one's buying games anymore. I don't mean that. But yeah, it's sad. But next, anyway, next.
Over to the world of film and TV, a few tidbits for you. Oppenheimer was the most viewed movie page on Wikipedia in 2023, with over 28 million views, as people, I guess, researched the story.
Yeah, that's badass.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's badass in the fact that people probably went into that thinking, I'm going to see the next Christopher Nolan film, and not knowing about the Manhattan Project, and then learning afterwards, which opens up new people's eyes to it all, doesn't it? The atrocities and stuff like that.
I think the book that it's based on, the American Prometheus, that went back into the bestseller list.
It's a great book. I read that years ago.
It's a fantastic book.
It's when I first started hearing them calling him Oppie. I hate that nickname for him. Come on, Oppie. Get up here, lad.
Worse than the Yorkshire accent. Come on, Oppie.
It doesn't seem to suit the time, does it?
No.
It doesn't. No.
Name like that.
Oppie, get down. Don't press that red button. Nah. Sit down, idiot. Dingbat.
Get off the counter. Sounds like a cat. Oppie.
Which came out. The film came out at the same time as Babs.
Babs. Yeah, I mean, wasn't Barbie named after the creator? Pretty sure.
No.
Oh, was it not? I thought the person that created Barbie.
It was something. It was like the creator's daughter or the creator's like niece or something. It was something like that.
It was a relative of the creator, but it wasn't the creator himself.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, it's nice that people are researching. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I watch a film, I do all the deep diving on the history and the lore of whatever I'm watching. IMDb, getting the trivia. I do all that every single film I watch.
If it's one I've really connected with, like Oppenheimer, like I re-listened to American.
Yeah,
Prometheus
you knew about
again.
it anyway in the first place. No spoilers on that film. That film, was it? Yeah, guess what? America wins. The world loses.
But it would cost.
That's badass, though. Next.
One of the greatest actors of our time, Mark Wahlberg, confirms that a sequel is in development with a script now written for the Uncharted 2 movie.
Greatest actors of our time, did you just say?
Yay? Thumbs in the middle somewhere.
I've seen Uncharted 1, the film, and I can't remember.
I have too.
I can't remember. They had a big boat at the end, didn't it? Flying boat.
It was fine.
I can't
It's
remember.
alright,
I can't
yeah.
remember.
Didn't need the brand, did it?
Casting is still wrong, but it was fine.
I just can't remember.
Yeah.
Didn't have any impact, did it?
tangentially related to Mark Wahlberg, actually. I've seen a trailer this week for, I don't know if you guys have seen this trailer, for the TED TV show.
Yes, I have seen that trailer.
Which is a prequel to it. And, actor of our time, Mark Wahlberg, they've managed to get a kid doing a Mark Wahlberg impression
Yeah, they have.
with that fucking terrible Boston accent.
Yeah, is Mark Wahlberg from Boston?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is he not? I thought he was.
No, I don't think
If he is,
Must
he's
be.
putting on his accent
I thought he
stronger
was.
than he should be.
Mark Wahlberg is from.
Oh, no, he is.
Boston,
He's from
Massachusetts.
Dorchester, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I was going
I
to
always
say,
thought
he
he
must be.
I always thought he was from New
Yeah, I
York.
thought he was.
Yeah, he always
That
makes.
film about the Boston bombing, didn't he? Like,
Yeah, and he's in The
Yeah.
Departed.
Departed.
The Departed.
Departed.
he's done all those like kind of Boston-based films.
Yeah, that's true. But it's still, his accent's hammed up to the fucking nines, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
It's like me if I were in a
Very
Yorkshire
much
film, I'd be
so.
like, hey up, cocker! Hey up, Bobby! I'd be fucking putting it on.
I bet
Oh,
he's the
yeah,
kind of
if-
person when he's around people
He
from
turns it on.
Boston more that it goes up and up. Like, yeah.
When I'm in London, I talk
if-
like
if-
this.
if-
In London town.
Oh, you talk
you
like
want-
this, geezer.
You watch the trailer for the TED TV show. Listen to the kid's accent who's playing
Yeah,
like
I
Mark
think,
Wahlberg's character.
I
It's
think
fucking hilarious.
he's not doing a Boston kid, he's doing a Mark Wahlberg impression.
That's what we say. It's a Mark Wahlberg kid, not a Boston kid.
I think it
It's so fucking
looks
funny.
It looks fine. I like Ted. I like the first one. I don't
I like
know
the
if I've
first
seen
one.
the second one.
I never
I
watched the second
Fucking
one.
horrendous.
No, I don't think I've seen it because everyone said don't bother. But I liked Ted one. It was.
I think
I
what I
heard it
struggled
was
with
bad,
is
so I
just
just
that-
didn't bother.
I think what I struggle with is that Seth MacFarlane was just doing Peter Griffin's voice for Ted.
He was, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he is, isn't it? It's Brian who
Yeah.
does his normal voice.
Yeah.
It's just his
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, cool. Next.
Ryan Reynolds has shared fake Deadpool 3 leaks after set photos.
Badass,
emerged.
that.
Have you guys seen any
Yeah,
of
with a
these?
predator.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
It's cool. It's cool. I like it. I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3 just for a little bit of a humour. I like Deadpool 2. A lot of people
I agree.
didn't.
We
but
need
I
something
liked
like
it.
that, don't we?
I thought
He's
that
also
did too.
great.
Yeah, I liked them both. He's also starring in announced this week. Didn't put it in there. He's going to be in like an action comedy with Channing Tatum.
Oh, Channing Tatum did well in 21 Jump Street. He was good in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it should
premise
be good,
sounds
yeah.
quite fun, but I just when I hear action comedy with Ryan Reynolds, I'm like, is he just going to be Ryan Reynolds again? Like,
Yeah, but if he's put up against Channing Tatum, what's the bet that there's going to be a scene where they both have their shirts off and they're like trying to like determine which one's better looking?
You're going to tell me
they are
what,
playing
what's,
brothers in it.
what's the problem
so-
in that? What can you tell me the negatives in that one? Candy, can you?
Just the predictability of it.
no
I
negatives.
just want him to try do something that's not
yeah.
brand now. Like he's done some films where
Yeah.
he's not just being Ryan Reynolds, and they're actually decent.
Yeah.
That Buried film
Buried-
is
Very,
fantastic.
Buried's
good.
great.
What's the one?
The Voices.
Voices. That's it. Yeah, that was decent.
That was
Completely
mind bending.
Yeah, completely not Ryan
The Green
Reynolds,
Lantern.
but
Everyone's favourite.
That's dead. That's officially dead. Doesn't exist anymore.
I didn't mind that.
You're the
not
only
great, I
one.
Next.
Alex Garland has revealed a poster for Civil War. Not much else, but it does look pretty cool with the Statue of Liberty surrounded by sandbags and snipers on top.
Yep.
Just like the
pretty cool.
second to last level from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2,
And
the original one.
my favourite IO interactive game, Freedom Fighters. Also, that.
Yeah, Freedom Fire's great.
Yeah, there you go.
What even is it? The film?
Civil War.
Premise: the United States stands on the brink of a civil war in a near future setting. Political commentary, everybody.
Yeah. America will win.
And America
Kirsten
also
That's a
Dunst.
great
loses.
graphic novel, DMZ. That's really cool.
Yeah, DMZ's good.
It's got Kirsten Dunst, Wagner Maurer, Stephen McKinley Henderson in it. A load of people I've not heard of.
Excellent. Can't wait.
As long as
Next.
it doesn't end like Men.
Oh, Jesus.
That would be weird.
Next.
Time for the Swift report. Taylor Swift has been named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. She told the magazine that it's the proudest and happiest she's ever felt.
So she now shares an honour with Adolf Hitler,
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going
Albert
to say that.
Einstein, Albert Einstein, Mahatma Gandhi.
Trump Times Person of the Year.
Donald Trump. Yeah.
But
Tony Blair.
Time Person of the Year isn't always about
It's not always a good
people
thing.
who did good. No, it's
not.
It's a lot of kind of who's been
It's
the
infamy
most
as well
talked
as
about
fame.
person. Infamy, yeah. The only thing that's come out of this, which I think is fucking brilliant and hilarious, in a way, is she talks about how there's a song called "Famous" by Kanye
I
West,
love Adolf.
where he basically rags on Taylor Swift and talks about fucking
Does
her.
it?
And apparently he said, "Oh, like."
That's not nice.
He basically says, because you know about that whole thing about when he stormed on stage when she collected an award,
Yeah.
and he stormed on stage and he was
Weren't
like,
you saying
"This
should have been Beyonce?
should have been Beyonce, yeah." So he wrote a song about her saying that like he kept her famous and everything, and
That's awful.
she'd apparently agreed to these lyrics, but she hadn't. What they'd done is they talked about it on the phone, and Kim Kardashian filmed him on the phone to Taylor Swift, and then they edited the video to make it sound like she said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with these lyrics," and then Kim Kardashian posted it on the internet saying, "Oh," and blasted her for it, and it sent her into a bit of a downward spiral and depression, and she left the country and went and lived on her own for ages.
On the moon.
And she said she just didn't want to talk to him because she couldn't trust anyone. Anyway, this has all come to light now. So Kim Kardashian's getting absolutely blasted by the Swifties.
Well, she's way more powerful than them.
Yeah, every
She is
single
now. She wasn't then.
single
Yeah,
one of
she
Kim
wasn't then.
Kardashian's comments on her Instagram is just the Swifties just going for her. And I just, if you go on there, it's so funny. Everyone's like, "We're coming for you," and it's just like pictures of snakes all over it.
It's all funny in that justice is going to be served, but you're still supporting a cult there, Stig. Come on.
I'd rather support her than the fucking Kardashians and Kanye West.
Yeah.
I do also like that she had a cat with her.
Yeah,
Like the cover, she's got a ragdoll kind of like over her shoulders, and she has the world's most ridiculously photogenic cat.
Hey, that's not true.
You could put Panda over your shoulders like that, he would cut your throat.
My eyes would be out.
she
Why
said
don't you
that.
write an album about your cat, Candy?
Maybe I will.
She said that when she was announced, when they rang her and said, "Oh, you're Time Person of the Year coming for a photo shoot," she's like, "Can I bring my cat?" That was the first question she asked.
It's badass. It's badass to get on Times for good reasons. like we
Yeah,
said.
like 2021's Elon Musk, or 2010's Mark Zuckerberg, or 2007's Vladimir Putin.
Oh yes, well earned. Well earned. Wait, while
Like I
we're
said,
on
it's
it,
not always the
us
goodies.
five just stood there.
Or 1999's Jeff Bezos.
If we ever get on Times magazine, we've got to do that pose that the monster, the Universal Monster pose, you know, from that with Johnny Depp and stuff.
Yeah.
We've got to do that. That's our podcast pose.
It'll be, and then in like 20 years' time, someone will go, "Remember that time they had Biggie on Time Person's magazine?"
Yeah. He's a baddie.
After you finally say something that's going to get you cancelled.
He's such a baddie. I can't believe they had him.
They fucking had Richard Nixon on it twice. And Henry Kissinger.
I'm in good company then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect, mate.
Bad people as well as good people.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. Next.
Finally over to the Weird World Web, and thank you to Candy for this one. This is batshit crazy.
Oh no.
Didn't take my
Cruel, evil scientists, it doesn't say that, but I'm just adding the first two bits, make VR goggles for mice so they can feel what it's like to be attacked by a bird. Upon noticing the simulated bird of prey, these terrified, bespectacled rodents ran faster on the treadmill used during the tests or froze, both of which are real common responses to overhead threats. Dubbed Miniature Rodent Stereo Illumination VR, acronym is immersive. The headgear is made up of two lenses and two screens split between both eyes to give the rodents an immersive 3D picture. Like VR for humans, the mice cannot see the outside world and are made to feel like they're somewhere else.
I don't think the mice are asking for this.
Like,
To see if they can do it to us.
You show a mouse a bird, it's going to fucking run because it's a predator.
The researchers from Northwestern University in Illinois said by simulating a mouse's natural environment, they'd achieve great understanding of their behaviour.
What do you need to understand?
I can tell you now, mice are really simple. They want
By
to eat and survive
by
and mate.
torturing them.
I mean, of course it's the fucking Americans doing this. America, what's wrong with you?
Fuck yeah.
That's
don't get me
horrendous.
started.
That's got to be animal cruelty, that.
Yeah. I get
Mate,
a
they
story
stick
about
drugs in them every week. There's more important about animal
I was
cruelty
saving that one,
things
Steve, but go ahead.
than
I was gonna
bloody
say,
VR.
I give him a story about a spider laying eggs in a man's toe during a cruise holiday. I thought, that was- yeah,
No.
just to get that reaction.
Right, I'm not sleeping
I
tonight.
literally
talking
will
about-
freak
Fuck you, Steve.
Gadget and Candy out.
Talking about mice, VR, and pharmaceutical testing and stuff. Don't Google what are they called? Them chambers, them despair chambers that they use in medical science. That's how they test antidepressants on mice.
That's just
Don't
what I call my
Google it. I
bedroom.
said, Candy, don't Google despair chambers.
It says here, just on the spider one, the doctors cut his toe
Nope.
open, causing the spider eggs to pour out.
Dinner.
Apparently, one had hatched and was started to eat its way out.
Snake, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Cool. Let's get
evil.
on with the main show. It is another of the year episode. This time, TV/films of the year. Are you running it again, Gadget? You know what you're doing, pal?
I'm not running it again. You can go for it.
Dig. You like TV
Well-
and Phil. You can run it.
All right, Gadget. What's your number 5?
Gonzo podcasting right here.
Weirdly enough, I struggle with this one because when I went back over it, I didn't actually realize how little I'd watched from this year. Most of what I've been watching has been from previous years, and
Yeah.
I'm not Biggie.
Nope, you're not.
So I am going to say my number 5. I have a few honorable mentions which we'll talk about in the Patreon bit. But I think my number 5 is going to be season 4 of Succession.
I've got that high.
You got that higher?
So we'll leave that for later.
Yes.
Okay, Candy.
Mine was a TV show that a couple of us watched and enjoyed called Fall of the House of Usher. In the series that was heading slightly downhill, I think, from that creator Mike Flanagan. I think it was a rise back to the glory. It had its scares, it had its intelligent themes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's his best work. 100%. It's a
Ooh,
great way
I disagree with that.
Heart
Yeah,
and
you're
Hill
wrong.
still is House and Heart.
Yeah.
Still his best.
You're
work.
wrong. You're wrong.
Yep.
But it's a great condensing of obviously a great body of work by Edgar Allan Poe and how he managed to get every single short story, poem, or prose that he's done into one series is genius. It's not in my top 5, but it's in my top 10.
Well, funnily enough, I actually went back and read all the Poe stuff and listened to all the Poe stuff because I hadn't.
It's good, innit?
Like I said, I'd done the hits, but I hadn't sort of
done the hits.
done the top 5.
Now
but
that's
yeah,
what I
hadn't
call
really-
Edgar Allan Poe.
But yeah, no, I went back and especially like comparing it to the TV show as well. I
Yeah.
was like, this is actually really clever, really cleverly done.
Did you notice how he just chose to follow the House of Usher as his main thread because it's the coolest sounding story that he's done?
Yeah, fair enough. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Because it's not like that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. It's really, really, really good. It's his best work. These two haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about.
Yeah. How and Horse Hill. How
You can't even say it. That's how much he loves
House
it.
on
How to
Haunted
Horses
Hill.
How to Horse a Hill.
It's just more
Pod
from what I was
title.
after.
There's the pod title.
It was great horror and really well crafted and really well
Yeah.
put together. And I don't really care about.
Yep.
Everybody knows Bly Manor was the best one.
God.
No, it wasn't.
Says the one who hasn't watched any of them.
The one that's what
I
I
just want to see the look on Candy's face.
I'll
That's
be
why
like your
I
manor.
literally didn't bother watching the last episode because I found the penultimate one so boring. I was like,
You
I
would-
can't be
you would
arsed to
like-
finish this.
You would like Midnight Mass though, Gadget. You'd like that.
Midnight Mass is good.
It's a play on how dangerous it can be.
Oh, I'm all up for that.
Yeah,
I love a bit of religious criticism.
Thought you would be, but yeah, good pick, Candy. Good pick.
Well, move on to you then, Oodles.
My number 5. I don't even know why I've put it here because I know it's not going to be everyone else's number 5. Oppenheimer.
Much higher for me.
Yeah,
Thought so. Thought so.
Biggie.
I've got the morning show.
Season...
The new season. You watched it all?
Yeah, season 3.
Season 3.
Yeah. I guess no one else picked it then. Yeah, so no one said anything. I was waiting for it. The morning show,
I
which
thought you were doing
we have already.
Morning show. Okay.
That we've already spoken about on the pod from both Oodles and myself, I think.
I love it.
It's also known weirdly as Morning Wars in Australia and Indonesia for some reason.
It's because they've got a show called The Morning Show.
I thought as much. Is the American drama television series, as we said before. It stars Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell, amongst many, many, many more. Just so good. Great American drama. The plot points, things that get dropped in, even just a comment could be picked up from season 1, ends up in season 3.
Yeah.
Some really top acting, and the fact that they don't even pick sides in any of the subject matter that they're putting through. They literally try and look at everything from all sides. I think it's
they're supposed to be independent,
television.
aren't they?
Yeah, and there's some great topics talked about.
Real world topics.
Just the Me Too, like the Me Too the movement. Sorry, it was more than a moment.
That one moment.
That moment where the
one
women got
moment.
all uppity.
Yeah.
And then we told them to be quiet.
In the
kitchen. We had COVID-19 pandemic, racial inequality. There's so many different subjects that are covered by the show. But yeah,
Cock
it's
rockets.
just great. Yeah, great television. And yeah, I just really recommend it. It's worth snapping up one of those free trials for Apple TV.
Got a year,
just,
mate.
binge
Full
watch it.
year. It's a
Love
great
it.
show.
Really good show.
I agree. It's a great show, but it's not as good as the first season. None of them have been, but it doesn't mean it's bad. You get what I mean?
No.
Apple do have a really bad habit of not being able to follow up on a fantastic first season.
Yeah, I've read a thing about that as well. With a lot of their shows, the first season's always their impact season, and then it just goes.
Yeah,
but it hasn't shit the bed at all. It's just like from a 10 out of 10 season going down to it. The second season was like a 9 out of 10. This season was an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? The next season's going to be a 7 out of 10 until it just dies. But it's great. The best thing about it is the acting.
Got a 4th season coming. Yeah.
The acting's superb, and Jennifer Aniston, my God, that woman can act. She can act.
Yeah, she's certainly showing her acting chops. She's been in other stuff, obviously, but yeah, I think she's really proven that she can do it.
Cool. It's one I intend to get on at some point while I've got my free Apple TV.
It's good to watch as a couple, that one, isn't it, Biggie? It's a couple watch.
Yeah.
Because I think you need to have someone next to you to like discuss the goings on. It makes it a lot more. Agreed. And the intro theme's amazing. And I don't even like jazz.
Oh, quick shout out to Greta Lee in it as well. She's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right, me then. My number 5 is I haven't put any TV in my top 5.
Ooh.
Mainly because, well, you're going to talk about Succession, so I could just talk about that then. But
Fair.
Also, I've watched like 59 films that came out this year. So
what?
Yeah. My number 5 is kind of a TV show, but it isn't because it ended with this film, like a feature length, and it's Attack on Titan's final chapter special 2.
Nice, mate. Nice.
Because I fucking love this show, and that might be like being a proper basic as fuck anime take.
No, it's incredible, mate, and I've seen loads of different anime.
Because there's a lot of stuck upness in the anime community.
The purists.
There? Yeah, and if you put this up
Fuck
there,
'em, mate.
people are just like, no, this is better, this is better. It's like, but I likes what I like, and I likes this show.
It's great. It's fantastic.
It's a show that took 10 years to get from start to finish, despite the fact there only been 4 seasons.
Yep.
But it was well worth the time. And luckily for me, I only decided to watch it like 2 years ago, so I managed to get through the whole show in like 2 years. But I can't talk about anything to do with the plot at all.
No, don't.
Because it obviously carries on from the 4th series. The special, the first special is really good, but it just kind of, it doesn't have a payoff. It has this it has this big set piece and this big moment for a character in there, and then it kind of ends and leads you to this second special. So I didn't get as much out of that as I wanted. It was still really good, but this one was just, it tied up everything perfectly well. Like there's just some proper beautiful moments in there. The action
threads
scenes
were nicely
in it.
tied, weren't they?
Yeah, threads, literally in that.
Yeah, that was punny.
Yeah, but yeah, everything's just pulled together amazingly well. The emotional beats are all there. The action is just incredible. This big, huge action set piece they have for like the majority of the film / special, and you just got this real kind of gorgeous moments. And so it just has this really beautiful moment at the end between the main three kind of main characters, and just it throws a few twists and turns in there as well, which you just think, something happens and you kind of like, and then this twist happens and you're like, oh, fuck off, but then it works really well and it's just amazing. The animation's great, and
it's one of the best looking animes.
It's brutal, it's beautiful, and the music's incredible.
It's also one of those that hasn't got bad dubbing. The dubbing's good.
Yeah, the English dubbing
it's really
is great.
good.
This special's only out in Japanese at the moment.
Yeah,
so if you want to watch, if you want to wait for the dub, I don't know when that's going to be out. So I'd just say
it's really well acted.
Just go watch the Japanese one.
I think it'll be out soon because I saw a TikTok this week of Matthew Mercer laying down his last lines for Levi. Is it Levi he plays? And he was getting quite emotional in the recording booth.
Played Levi.
Yeah, he was getting quite emotional in the booth, like delivering the last line of the recording session. So
I've seen videos of the Japanese. I've seen videos of the Japanese voice actors like bursting into tears when they're trying to get their final lines out. It's so good. Honestly,
side note there, Stig.
Anime.
Have you played the game, the Attack on Titan 2? It's a really good game. It's got the first game and the second one built into one game. It's a good game.
I've got it, but I just haven't bothered playing.
I think you'd genuinely like it. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean the
it's hard, isn't it, Stig?
Gear looks great, so I didn't hear a word he said then.
It's just being rude.
Yeah. But yeah, Attack on Titan, final chapter,
pick.
special 2. It's very special
as well, mate. My top 10, but not quite top 5.
Oh, it's me. Sorry, I'm Gadget. Back to you. Top 4. Number 4.
Number 4. Now this one I went back and forth on. Originally I was going to go with Silo, but there was a late entry has pipped to the post for number 4 and knocked Silo out of my top 5. Season 2 of The Bear.
I still yet to watch it.
Me too.
Great.
This so much.
I love the first season so much. I have no idea why I haven't jumped on the second one yet.
The second season is quite different to the first one. It doesn't do as much of the constant tension which the first one did. However, when you get the moments of tension, oh my god, they hit so hard. There is a Christmas special episode which nearly gave me a stomach ulcer. It was so tense and so horrible to watch. It's an hour and 15 minutes long, and I had to watch it in 3 shifts because it was so tense, but so absolutely brilliantly well acted and well performed and well put into place. The soundtrack choices are wonderful. All the performances are wonderful. Season 2, like I said, is different because season 2, for a lot of it, is much more of a celebration of food. There's a lot more food photography and lots more sequences of them actually cooking rather than fighting with each other. Maddie Matheson, who is the producer of the show and a YouTube chef, he's in it more as a Fak. And he's very funny.
Is he a YouTuber?
He's a YouTuber. He's a YouTube cook. He's like good friends with like Binging with Babish and people like that.
I don't know what that is.
And he does a lot of the First We Feast stuff as well. But he's very good and very chaotic and very messy cook, but makes amazing stuff. And a lot of this season is spun off from Kami. Like the first season, everyone got their own little story, but everything was centered around Kami. Yeah. This season, a lot of the characters are taken out of their places. Like, as one example, like Marcus is sent to train in a kitchen that Kami trained in when he was younger. And so you get an entire bottle episode around him, and you find out more about him, and it's wonderful. And you get a lot of that with this series. Kami kind of takes a little bit of a back seat until kind of towards the end of the series, and I think that works well because it stops it being from about one man and his problems and his issues with his world to being a real ensemble cast, and I think that makes it better as a result. Everyone gets an opportunity to shine, so Pip and I watched the show like in a week, like all like 18 episodes of it. It's just that good.
It's really special.
But yeah, when you get to episode 6 in season 2, have some Rennies on hand. Fuck me. That one's hard. It's a hard episode to watch. Woo. But yeah, my number 4 with the season 2 of The Bear.
Awesome. I will get onto it. I promise. Who was next? Candy.
Yeah, actually, it's another late entry for me, and it's a series that's only halfway out at the moment, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and that's Monarch, which is the Apple TV show based on the Monarch Corporation from the Godzilla series.
World of Monsters.
Lovely to see Kurt Russell back in action as well, and Wyatt Russell playing him, the same character in a different timeline. As always, we don't get enough Godzilla, but the threat of Godzilla is always kind of...
We never have we?
Never enough Godzilla.
I mean, the best Godzilla films have very little Godzilla in it, isn't it?
Agreed.
He's only in like 15 minutes of Shin Godzilla.
If that.
Yeah. Them eyes, though. Them fucking eyes. But, but yeah, the threat of Godzilla is constantly there. It's in the aftermath of the San Francisco attack, so it's the modern-day Godzilla film, the American ones.
It
takes place a year or so afterwards, between a brother and sister that didn't know they existed. And I can't wait to see how it plays out. I imagine that the second part of the season... So we're on episode 5 so far. I assume there's probably 10 or 12, so we're halfway through. I would imagine that the second part of the series will be a bit more action-packed. We saw a bit more of it last episode, with various other titans springing up. And it's really good fun. Thoroughly enjoying it.
I like that Kurt Russell plays a 90-year-old man in this.
Very spry, isn't he? Very spry.
Very spry. He even says, they mention it, doesn't they? Are you supposed to be 90 years old? Oh, yeah, I look good for my age.
I was going to say, he's only 72.
Yeah,
and he still looks good for his age.
He looks fantastic for a 72-year-old. I don't buy him as a 90.
I hope I don't like him when I hit that age.
The man's ripped for an older man. He looks great.
Does a good Santa.
Yes. Yeah. Magnificent.
I agree. It's really good, but I didn't put it in because it's not finished.
Yeah,
I feel like I've seen enough of it to make a decent judgment so far. If I'd just seen the one episode, I wouldn't have put it in, but this is what knocked Silo out, unfortunately, for me. I liked Silo, but
it was the be-all, end-all when it came out, guys. You all adored it.
I mean, it's knocked down to my 6, so I was going to talk about it in the Patreon.
Yeah, I've got that. I'll do that in the Patreon.
I mean, I loved it, but things were better.
I didn't.
Monarch is... we've only watched 2 episodes yet. We haven't had a chance to watch any others just because of working.
Second episode's better than the first one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Who was next? Biggie. Was it back to Biggie or Oodles? No, it was Oodles, wasn't it?
Yeah. Number 4 for me is Air. Has anyone got Air?
It's in my top 10, but it's not in my top 5.
So there's nothing I love more than a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck film. There's nothing I love more.
You can smell the weed coming out of all of them.
You really can. I love a biopic, and I love it when it's something that is modern enough for me to know about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to do too much research. It's about the Nike sponsorship of Michael Jordan, but it's not about Michael Jordan at all, really, is it? If you've all seen it,
that's one of its best things, really. The fact that it kind of keeps Jordan out of it.
Yeah, it's mainly about his mum, isn't it? Yeah. And how powerful. But it's just, I don't know. It's one of those biopics that in the vein of like Social Network and things like that, where it's just a dead interesting subject made even better by incredible actors doing absolutely stellar work. Like Ben Affleck knows how to be a coke-ridden CEO because he's been a coke-ridden person in his life. I mean, they're all playing on themselves. Like Matt Damon can be a schlub because he's been a schlub before in real life. He's not always been Jason Bourne all his life. And it's got Jason Bateman in it. He's always a delight to see when he turns up in things. And I don't know, I just think it's a really well acted film. It's really enjoyable, and the subject matter is dead interesting. They're wrong though. Adidas is better than Nike. They keep saying Adidas is not better than Nike, but Adidas is better than Nike.
Nike's better.
Is it? Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really enjoyed it.
High tech for life.
You're a Diodora man, aren't you? Gadget exclusively buys his
baby.
shoes from Windsor's World of Shoes.
I'm northern, I'm cheap.
But yeah, it's just. I just think it's a really good biopic. And there's not really much more to say on it. If you've not watched it, I didn't have to go to cinema to see this either. Was it Apple TV or was it Netflix or something?
I think it's Apple TV.
Apple TV. It is really good. Like, I was surprised just
genuinely
how much
really
I
good.
enjoyed it. When it first came out, it was like, they're going to do a film about how Air Jordans
How
came
they
about.
acquired the
It's
rights.
Like, really? And yeah, it's really good and quite gripping in places, and everyone's acting really well, and it's just a really cool story.
It's
really well
it's
done.
one of those films I'm surprised that they got the funding for it, because when you go in the context,
How do you
we wanna
pitch it?
make, yeah, how do you pitch it? We want to make a film about a pair of trainers.
I
You want
just
Michael
like
Jordan in it? No.
I like those films where the main, the lead is willing to risk it all. Like, I really like the Adam Sandler basketball film from the other year, because when you're willing to risk it all, your reputation, your livelihood, your family, there's something endearing when at the end it all pays off, and I like that. Sometimes I like a happy ending. Spoiler alert, there's a happy ending to this, guys.
You like a good underdog story.
I do like an underdog story.
A good
Really
corporate
do.
underdog story.
Do you know that...
The amount of men wearing chinos in that film, Oodles.
There's a lot of chinos in that film. A lot of chinos.
Do you know what? Weirdly, right, as much as we're joking, it is kind of an underdog story, because at the time Nike were...
It is.
Were on...
There were nothing.
Yeah, we're nothing, and they were fucked, basically, because all, Converse and Adidas were absolutely blowing them out the
Destroying.
water.
Yeah.
So, in the basketball division, at least, anyway. But, yeah, Michael Jordan only signed off on this film if Viola Davis could play his mum.
And
So
she's
they got-
incredible.
So they
in
got
it.
Viola Davis to play his mum, and he's like, yeah, fine.
Done.
I mean, Viola Davis's default position is incredible. She's been in some shite things over the years, but she's always incredible in it.
Yeah, she's the best thing in everything she's in.
Have
Yeah,
you seen
I-
How to Get Away with Murder? Oh, that was shite.
I just think everyone should watch this if you're into the 90s Americana in any way, shape, or form. It's a fascinating watch. A lot of men smoking in offices. You'll enjoy it. It's a talkie. It's a talkie. There you go.
Cool. Biggie, number 4.
I've got Oppie at number 4, but I'm guessing it's higher.
I've got it higher.
I've got it higher. My number 4, I think it's going to be higher. Barbie.
I've got it much higher.
Yep. Back to you then, Gadget.
The Last of Us.
Got it
Hiya.
higher.
Oh, I've got that higher.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that.
I mean, it was January. It's been a while.
Did a whole podcast series on it, but
Yeah.
shit. I just look
Oh,
at
well, they've
films.
got it.
Too many films.
That's fine.
Back
I've
to
got it higher.
Candy.
My number 3 was Tetris. Staying with the
Tetris is
computer
good.
game theme.
It's in my top 10, but not.
Another good biopic.
I need to watch that.
Brilliant biopic. Who would have guessed that when they announced the Tetris film, it would be about the history of the production of and release of Tetris?
I was expecting something like Pixels.
That's exactly
Need
what
I
I was
remind you all, I said it last time we talked about this film, on one of the very first episodes of Modern Escapism, I pitched Tetris the movie. But unfortunately, not like this. It was about the blocks invading Earth. Can you remember, Gadget?
That's right.
Like
yeah.
Pixels,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Which is how we probably all guessed it was going to be.
So I still need residuals for this. Because
Well,
mine
you
was called
don't, because you pitched a
Tetris.
different film.
But same name.
It doesn't work like that.
If you remember, I named the blocks. They all had individual names.
They've already
I
got
can't remember
names.
them.
They got stupid names, but they got names.
No, but I gave them like character names and character
Oh, like Fred.
played
and-
by different.
Stop
played
calling
by
them blocks.
actors.
Stop calling them blocks anyway. They're called tetronyms.
Tetraminos. Yeah.
Tetraminos, tetronyms, something like that.
Tetranominons.
Anyway, shut up and let Candy talk about Tetris.
Big old titties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that your review?
I'm done. I mean, like it was shocking, absolutely shocking. I had no idea. Like, I mean, granted, I was not very old when Tetris came out, so it wouldn't have piqued my interest. But the history of it is incredible. It was basically like an espionage to get this thing released. Yep. It was just such an interesting story, and the film, don't go into it with your kids expecting them to have a laugh a minute. It's not a kid's film. It's a talky one. It's not
and there's
Mario.
boobies in it.
Yeah. But
it is.
Great biopic.
I think it's great. It's lovely to see behind the Iron Curtain again, isn't it? We miss those times when Russia was the baddies, but they weren't as bad as they are now.
I really enjoyed this story and it's wilder than you ever thought the rights to a game would have been, and who was involved, and was it Maxwell?
I love in the interview of the actual
Robert Maxwell,
the guy
Robert Maxwell,
and they ask him, so is this film pretty accurate? He's like, yeah, they missed out loads though. It's like, what else could you have missed out?
Probably had to miss a lot of stuff he did.
They went in the gulags for a little bit, didn't they, in real life? They spent some time in prison and that.
I think as well, I haven't seen the film, but if I remember rightly from like reading about the story, wasn't like the game of Tetris, it was made, the guy who made it as a, not to make a game, but he was
he did it as a hobby. He was working it for the KGB. Working for like Inland Revenue or whatever.
Yeah, so the fact that he made this little thing that then became this absolutely sweeping success in the capitalist world.
There's a scene in it, Gadget, that you'd love where they go to Nintendo's headquarters and they get to see the Game Boy, and it's in this like duodecic dome, like and there's like steam coming off it. It's so good.
You've got Gadget. You should watch it. You'd really like it. It's really good.
It's on my Apple TV watch list. I need to get around to it.
It's fantastic. I just forgot. I forgot he was there. He'd have been higher if I'd remembered.
Cannot, like, in my top 10 this year, and obviously within some of our top 5s, a film about some trainers and Tetris.
Yeah.
I can.
It's been a weird year.
Good pick, Danny, mate.
Oodles, what's your number 3? Are we up to Oodles? No.
Yeah, we're up to Oodles.
Oodles, yes.
No. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely am the only person that's got this in here, and it's probably the lowest rated thing this year that any of us have got on this list. It's a film called No One Will Save You. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's an exiled, anxiety-ridden homebody woman that must battle an alien abduction. It's like a home invasion. She's on her own. There's no dialogue in this film, and it's scary as fuck. And one of the scariest films. But I am terrified of aliens. So, I mean, if you're not scared of aliens, this is not going to be that bad for you. But No One Will Save You. It's the actor that plays the main star and the only real human star, Caitlin Dever. I don't know her from other things, but she's so good. But she don't have to speak in it. She doesn't speak. It's just all emotion. It's not a silent film. There's noises, alien noises and stuff, but it's really clever. Do you know how like Panic Room, the film, starts off really strong, like when the breaking in bits?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but she doesn't realise that she's getting broken into by aliens. It's not the highest rated thing, but it was so effective for me. It really it just shattered, and I thought about it for weeks and weeks and weeks after. I don't think I mentioned it on the pod that much.
Didn't you punch a light stand because you thought you were being invaded?
Did you what, sorry?
Didn't you say you punched a light stand once because you thought you were at aliens or something? I remember you were saying something like that once on the pod.
Yeah. It's one of my biggest fears. I've got megalophobia, I've got legumininophobia, I'm scared of beans, but I'm also scared of aliens. Really badly scared and cows. They're linked to aliens as well, aren't they? But yeah, I find nothing more terrifying than the alien episodes in X-Files, you know, where they...
I watched the film that gave Oodles his fear of aliens, Fire in the Sky.
You did.
And the film itself is just meh, really. But the actual abduction and the depiction of the probing and
bear in mind I was 7 years old when I watched it.
Fucking terrifying. So it's like
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah, I was like,
and we mentioned it on the podcast, didn't we,
No
Stig?
wonder Oodles was scared of aliens after watching that.
Yeah, 7 years old. Like, I'm not scared of like xenomorphs, and unless I'm playing that game, because xenomorphs don't look like the little grey aliens. It's the grey aliens, like on signs and stuff like that. But this, No One Will Save You. I think it's, if you're scared of it if you're scared of living on your own, and don't watch it, Candy. You live on your own.
Yeah. I was going to say that could describe me down to
terrifying. It's terrifying. And it ends up not being the film you think it's going to be, because it doesn't stay as a home invasion. It becomes kind of one woman's odyssey of a town not listening to her, not understanding her. There's more subtext to it. It gets a bit trippy in places. It's got a very weird twist for an ending, and I mean more than a Shyamalan twist, like twisty twist. Like you couldn't even guess what the twist was, and it's just.
Does she come outside and it's a Cloverfield film?
Oh, you guessed the twist. No. It's just, I found it stupendously.
The aliens are making a rolled.
I just found it stupendously effective, and I couldn't stop thinking about it when I was making my list. And again, it's not the highest rated on here. I think it's like 60%, 62% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not brilliantly loved by critics, but the people that do love it are always the ones in the reviews that say, I'm scared of aliens, and I don't like living on my own. That kind of film. So I loved it, and I just wanted to put it in my top 5. I thought it was fantastic. I'll never watch it again. It scared me.
Well, it's effective then. It's good.
Yeah. That's my number 3.
Biggie, what's your number 3?
I got Succession at 3, but I don't know if it's higher.
Not for me.
It was
Not
number 5 for
even
me.
in my top 50.
Wow.
Loser.
Well, Succession, the American satirical comedy drama TV series that a few of us have watched, created by Jesse Armstrong, and it aired originally in June 2018, but the final season came out this year, which is why it counts, bitches, in May 2023. Series basically centered on the Roy family, the owners of a global media and entertainment conglomerate, Waystar Royco, and their fight for control of the company amidst uncertainty about the health of the family's patriarch. It's just... thank you. I binged this series back to back, basically, when I finally got onto it.
So did I, yeah.
It was good. I just wanted to know.
I think I went through all 4 seasons in a month, which is like unheard
Yeah.
of.
I started the first episode when season 5 was halfway through it.
I just wanted more and more and more. And in a way, I'm gutted it finished, but it had to.
I'm gutted it finished, but I'm happy it finished where it did, because I think it had the potential to become absolutely unbearable if it carried on much longer. Yeah. Because not one character in that show is good. They're all bastards.
That's what I didn't like about it. That I had no one to latch onto, no one I cared about.
True.
Yeah. That's
my biggest flaw with it. I like some good in humanity. And this is not the show for that.
Well, no, the casting was so spot on. It was so brilliantly done. And they had the supporting cast as well from recurring characters. And it's so good. The script is just brutal. It's both funny and gut-punching when needed to be. The cast were allowed to improv in scenes. The direction was incredible because cameras were focused on everybody at all times so they could get genuine reactions.
Yeah.
It's just great. It's just fantastic television. And if you don't watch it, you're a cop.
The scene on the boat in the 3rd episode. I fucking love that because it was one of the things we were watching a week, because I'd caught up by the whole thing at that point, so I'm watching it week by week, and I see the behind the scenes stuff coming. It's like it's one unbroken 27-minute performance, like a stage play throughout that boat, and all those emotions that they're putting out, and all that dialogue that they're dropping, because it's not a simple scene either. They're moving around a boat that's moored in the New York harbor, up and down floors, moving around, and it's basically a wanna. And like they've got like camera teams swapping off each other, like changing tapes, because they only get like 10 minutes of footage out of each camera at any time and stuff like that. And it's absolutely superb how it's done. But the performances are unreal. Like, I love Sarah Snook; she's incredible. Matthew McFadden, Kieran Culkin's brilliant. Matthew McFadden's off the charts throughout
I
it.
think
Incredible.
Macaulay Culkin's fuming that his brother's a way better actor than him.
No, because I think Macaulay
Because
Culkin
one's
made a
richer
lot
than
more
other.
money. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, even though he was only in kind of a few episodes of the 4th season, Brian Cox still steals it. That man delivers a fuck off like nobody else.
He's great. Brian Cox has always been underrated as an actor. He's phenomenal. The problem, and the main thing I didn't score it. I mean, I was only kidding. It's probably in my top 20 if I went through my top 20 of what I've watched this year. But I've not watched as much as Stig. But this proper standout episodes in the whole run, especially in this final season as well. But there's just dross episodes, but you need the dross episodes to get the payoff in the great episodes. So it's like a necessary evil, and I didn't smile once watching it. I wasn't happy watching any of it, and I found it a bit oppressive. I found it a bit oppressive and like glued to the
it's so
TV.
funny though, brutally funny though. That's the point. The script.
Oh, I think the script is
damning
savage.
of their attitude to normal
most
people.
Most of the interactions between Tom and Greg were usually hilarious in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like
It's a good show, but I just didn't bum it like everyone else.
The episode with the election, like the state Tom gets into throughout that, and the kind of the bouncing between him and Greg, and like, I think at one point Greg gives him some sushi, and he's like, "Where did you get this from?" He's like, "Oh, I got it from like the 7-Eleven down the road." He's like, "You got me convenience store sushi? Are you trying to kill me?" And like he loses his shit because he's stressed, but it's delivered so funny.
Yeah. I totally agree. It was just, I love it. I can't believe I missed it when it came out, and so glad that I have seen it now.
I am very glad I got through it. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, me too. It's like one of those ones.
I'm glad I got through it too.
But everyone's like, you got to watch it, and then I was just glued to it, and I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite TV show of the year by far for me.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that actually lived up to the hype that other people gave it.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
For me, anyway.
Yes. Same.
Cool.
No, I agree.
Right, my number 3 is Oppenheimer. Anyone
Yeah.
got that any higher?
I've got it higher.
Oh,
So that means Gadget's number 1 and 2. Power of deduction. So we'll go on to Gadget's number 2 now.
So my number 2 is Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Just wanted to have that got it there moment. Oppenheimer's I loved it, and it's one of those films that I will never watch again. I'm very happy having seen it. It's like, I don't think it's as depressing as something like Schindler's List, which I've seen once and will never watch again. But it's near that level. But it's like a proper. This is the director Chris Nolan like flexing his muscles. This is
his drama chops.
No, I'm talking like his technical chops, like the look of the film, the way everything's orchestrated, the way everything's put together.
I think the editing's so mental in this as well, isn't it?
The structure of the film as well, because it's bouncing between 3 timelines. Like,
that you don't even realise.
Oppenheimer's early life, the Manhattan Project, and the court cases afterwards. So, the fact that he managed to pull it's like a 3-hour and something film. It's a long film, but it's pretty comprehensive for a biopic. Most biopics don't go this detailed on somebody. The performances are absolutely brilliant. Like, what's his name?
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, that's it. I don't know why I was thinking Kieran Culkin, and it's like, that's not him. No. Cillian.
That would have been interesting.
It would have been. Cillian Murphy, I think. I never normally really like him when he does like Americanized rules. Like, I much prefer him when he does like kind of British or European rules.
What about Brummy?
Even Brummy, he's very good at doing the Brummy accent. But this is like his peak American rule for me.
Yeah, he's really good in it, isn't he? Just at staring at a camera.
Just at staring at a camera, but like all the little kind of like ticks and movements, like
subtleties,
all the subtleties of Oppenheimer. I thought Emily Blunt was really good as his long-suffering wife. Especially
Florence
towards
It's a role of a lifetime
standout
for Cillian
role
Murphy
as well,
isn't it?
Sorry, Biggie?
It's something that it's a role of a lifetime for him, to be honoured to take on such a, because the film focuses on his character so much that he's in it in almost every frame.
And I think
he is.
Like you say,
he's in every single scene.
He's in every scene.
No, it's not, because there's scenes within the hearing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, without him there, yeah.
But everyone's amazing in this. Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant in this.
I was really surprised when I saw him. Didn't expect him in it.
I went to see this with my pals. Fun fact: one of 3 films I've seen in cinemas this year. I went to see this with my pal, and he didn't know that was Robert Downey Jr. until we got out.
Because he's so un-Tony Stark-like.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. It's like
Tony Stark,
just showing you his actual acting chops. And you've got like Florence Pugh, Josh Hart.
He's not really
in a good
Iron Man.
role. It's full of other people. Benny Safdie, Casey Affleck, Matt Damon's great in it.
Yeah.
Like the list of people in this film is just ridiculous, and they're all
Hollywood, isn't
they're
it?
all just great, and just the cinematography, the sound, just everything
sound
about this
design's
film is
off the
just
chart.
incredible.
I have to mention something, and it could be considered a spoiler for a film that actually happened in real life, but it really surprised me more than any other aspect of this film. And cover your ears for a few seconds if you are conscious of this. I thought the film would end with the detonation. It did not.
I did too, and I
that
thought
was
it was
brave.
really cleverly done. How that they didn't even show it, but they hinted at what happened.
Yeah,
in various scenes.
Oh, that's the best thing that they didn't show.
I think if they showed the bomb, I think it would have made the film too. It would have made the film too much America fuck yeah.
Yeah,
would seem a bit crass as well.
Yeah, whereas the film's supposed to be the critique of it. I liked how they handled it though, like when Oppenheimer delivers the news that the bomb has dropped and it's been successful. And you've got that moment where he's got like the entire Manhattan Project on the bleachers and all that, and he's like everything distorts for him.
Yeah,
that's what. That's what I was referring to. It's so cleverly done.
And all the way through the film, it's got the people stomping on the ground, and then you find out why they're stomping on the ground.
But then you get that shot when they're watching the footage that's come back from Hiroshima.
Yeah,
and he just focused on the horror in his face.
Yeah, what have I done? I have become deaf. I am become deaf, or whatever he says.
I'm destroying worlds.
And
I've become deaf.
Yeah.
The film is going to be released at some point in the very near future in Japan as well. So it'll be interesting to see sort of how that.
Yes, of course.
I think it was done as respectfully
true horror for them.
I think it was done as respectfully as it possibly could have done.
I think so.
I mean, it does help that it's not directed by an American man. That goes in its favour, and it's not all American actors in there. It's not a fuck yeah film. It's a fuck no, what have we done film.
I think as well, actually going back to what Stig was talking about with Robert Downey Jr. in it, like being not Tony Stark.
Yeah.
There is that moment towards the end where you get the turn in his character. I say his character,
when he's
the
not
person
nice.
he's playing. And it shocked me because I've forgotten how good an actor Robert Downey Jr. is, because you only see him playing Tony Stark or really kind of charming, charismatic
Dr.
characters.
Dolittle.
But for most of the film, because the other shoe hasn't dropped, he's charming Tony Stark kind of guy. And then there's that kind of click, and it's just like, oh, you are so good at this.
Well, especially for young people who've only been watching him for the last 10, 15 years as well. And obviously, for obvious reasons, he's out of the limelight for a good 5, 10 years. But before that, his dramatic roles, he's always been a really excellent.
Have you seen him in Less Than Zero? God. He becomes a male prostitute in that. It's a very hard-hitting film from the 90s.
So
before he went to prison.
I thought it was
science.
Weird science.
I thought it was a phenomenal film that I will never watch again, but I loved it.
Yeah, I will not watch it again.
I am very glad I went to see it in the biggest cinema I could afford, with the biggest sound system I could afford in that cinema. It was pure IMAX. It was lavish. It was me going whole hog when I shouldn't have gone whole hog, but it was worth it. It wasn't the film I was expecting, but it did other things to me.
I felt a little bit shortchanged by seeing it in IMAX until you got to the scene of the bomb going off. It's like, that's what I've paid for.
It doesn't
need to be an IMAX film.
No, it does not. But cinematography-wise as well, it's smart. The choice of colour, the choice of gradient, the choice of lighting on people's faces, the cuts, the smash cuts. Fucking Albert Einstein. Do you know what I mean? It's just good.
All those,
it's just
shots of when you see like particles like bouncing around.
Yeah,
Real, innit?
It's
Yeah.
all real.
Yeah.
Like it's none of it's CGI. It's like it's all real and filmed
Yeah.
with just ridiculously good cameras.
Yeah. It's great. Great film. You should watch it at least once in your lifetime.
You know, Gary Oldman's in it.
Yes,
That's
that's
True.
true.
Does he play the bomb?
No, it's Truman. President
Yeah, it's
Truman.
I did not notice you were
Play the bomb.
Truman.
That 4-minute scene, it took me about half of it to work out that it was Gary Oldman. It was basically from his smile. It was when he's because he's got so much makeup on and he doesn't look like Gary Oldman, but you can't fake your smile.
I'm just used to seeing him as a dwarf.
Apparently, as well, that's what he said.
Yeah, bang on, yeah.
Yeah, that's the transcript of it.
Yeah. What a bastard.
Crazy film.
Horrible.
Crazy film.
Yep. Candy, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Gen V.
My number 2 is Gen V.
Oh, high five. A series that I never expected to like, and I kind of almost didn't want to because I was like, well, we've got The Boys. I'm sick of all these spin-off shows.
I wrote it off when it was announced.
Yeah, I did too. I
did too.
I watched it out of interest as a politeness when it first came out. Oh my god, I was hooked from the first minute. It's the Boys down to a T. Like, it doesn't feel like a spin-off show. It feels like
Another series.
the next series of The Boys.
Yeah. And it
least-
kind of is because it's canonical.
Exactly, and I think it obviously is going to lead straight into the next series of The Boys, which we're not going to get till next year. And I think we'll probably... I don't know if we'll see the two blend or if we'll see two more separate series, The Boys and Gen V. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more crossover than there was this season between the two series. But, oh, it was so much fun. It's just as splatterific. Like, the humour is exactly the same. If you like The Boys and you haven't watched Gen V, don't sleep on it.
My favourite scene is when she's riding on that giant willy.
I knew you were going to say that.
When you said my favourite scene is, I could have intercut you there and just
Yeah.
said right on the clock. Only because if it were real, you'd want her to do it to you.
Why is it both, like, in this series and the last series of The
True.
Boys, everyone's favourite scene is, do you remember that bit with the willy?
Cocks. Yeah, willies are important.
Well, yeah, I would agree.
I just think, again, without spoiling any of the plot, how it expertly makes you aware of the main canon of The Boys without having those characters in it and without having the big show-stopping characters. Not to say that they don't make an appearance or anything like that. You get a lot of it's like on posters and adverts and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Just
all
to-
there,
just to
isn't
re-
it?
Just to reaffirm that it exists and how it's set straight after the last season of The Boys. So it's a lovely bit of filler. It's just, it's delicious. And the actors in it are phenomenal. The kids, I mean, they're not kids, are they? They're adults, but the playing kids.
There's some ropey acting. I will say that. That's my only
Yeah, it's
caveat.
not brilliant, but there's some
Necessary.
ropey acting in The Boys.
Yeah.
That's not perfect for acting. It's not it's not something you watch
Billy
for
Butcher's
the pros.
voice is ropey as fuck.
It's horrendous.
but it's
horrendous.
but it's great at the same time.
For the right
entertaining.
reason.
It's entertaining. It's just, yeah, Gen V really shocked me, because I wrote it off. Same as Candy. And then I was like, oh my god, it's Amazon's best IP by far. The Boys is their best work.
Oh yeah, big time.
Until Fallout.
No,
Fingers
I,
crossed.
hope- I don't think it'll be as good as The Boys. I'm so glad, especially at a time when I'm a bit like some other people where I'm getting MCU fatigue a lot quicker than Stig is and stuff like that. But this is the antidote I needed, because I love, and like Biggie, I love graphic novels, I love comic books, and I remember reading these stories years ago and seeing them changed up enough to surprise me. There's characters in this that didn't exist in the books. Do you know what I mean? And it's just
It was unfilmable, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. I mean, we've got Tech Knight in it, and with all his issues with holes. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. It's just.
You see, I forgot about that character. It wasn't until you reminded me, and I was like, they're not
Just
putting him
fuck
in.
everything.
Surely not. And it wasn't even as bad as you thought it would be, but it was
It was enough.
It was what was implied is what made it
that
so
scene
funny.
when he looks at that tree.
he saw a knot in a
that
tree.
tree.
He saw a knot
Yeah,
in
and
a
he's
tree,
like,
and he was
I'm
like,
gonna fuck that.
Put my dick in that.
Calbo enters the chat.
Yeah, I know. It's just a really well executed program, and it's not what I expected, and it just blew me away.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's very good.
But yeah, that's my number 2, as well as Candy's number 2.
Ooh. So Biggie, what's your number 2?
It's the one you forgot, dude. It's The Last of Us.
I have it higher.
I've
as
got
Gadget.
it higher.
Oh gosh. Okay.
You know what man Candy's number 1 is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Me, number 2, Killers of the Flower Moon.
I haven't seen it yet.
Scorsese's latest 3.5-hour epic set in the 1920s Oklahoma. It's about the Osage Nation and about the plot of the local racists to
The
kind
white
of
men.
to do them out of their money, and horrific murders ensued. Never ever heard of this story until this film came out. Don't think a lot of people had heard of it until the book that it was based on came out either. And it just kept going until the FBI steps in to unravel what's going on at the kind of the pleading and the behest of the Osage Nation. Say, like, something is going on, please come and help us.
Yeah, we're still humans, remember?
Yeah. And it's just so good. Everything about it is like the direction, the cinematography, the acting, the editing, the music. It's an incredible film, in my opinion.
I can't wait to watch it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
You've got Lily Gladstone in the lead role, and she's keeping, she's not been in many things, but she's managing to kind of keep up there, and at times
With Oscar-winning stars.
run circles around Leo and Robert De Niro, who both put in also like fantastic performances. I know a lot of people have had issues with the way this story's framed and told, this perspective it's told from, because it's mainly told from Leo's character's perspective,
which the book isn't.
No, this is coming from Ernest's view, really. You're kind of seeing him going through and him being manipulated by people, while also kind of, on one hand, he's fallen in love with this Osage woman, but on the other hand, he's helping to commit these horrific things. Yeah. And I understand why he's done that, not just to kind of draw people in more and just say, we've got these big stars in, but it's to make you feel guilty. I know that's not really something that we should feel guilty about because we have nothing to do with it, but it's to really draw your attention and pull you in of the plight of these people. And I think that's why he's purposely done it. And there's a bit near the end.
It's a white privilege thing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit right near the end, which I won't spoil, which kind of really kind of drives that home. How Scorsese ends this film really drives home that kind of white guilt.
I really thought it'd have been out by now on Apple TV. I've been waiting very patiently for it.
I think it's just come out.
Came out this week.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! I'll watch that this week then. That came out of nowhere. Then no song, no fanfare, just turned up. I know this would have probably been my number one because I just love Scorsese anyway, but I just have not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's just like Oppenheimer. I didn't feel the time. I sat in the cinema and watched it, and I didn't feel like
that's when you know it's good.
3.5 hours had gone by. I was just completely sucked in with it and just thought it was fantastic.
Excellent. I can't wait for that.
Finally, on to our number ones. I know what Gadget is, so tell me, Gadget.
Yeah, I didn't expect this to be number one. I thought it would be a good film just to go and see. And I adored it more than anything. Barbie.
Yeah, I loved Barbie.
I thought it was a wonderful film with a wonderful message, wonderfully acted, absolutely hilarious in places, absolutely heartbreakingly poignant in places. It's a tour de force from most of the cast. Like, Margot Robbie's excellent in it. But fucking Ryan Gosling runs away with that film.
Yeah. Ironically, I guess.
Well, it's very ironic, to be honest. Like,
he is the best thing in it.
He will probably win an Oscar for that one, and I don't think Margot Robbie will win an Oscar for it.
No.
And his song might win an Oscar
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I'm Just Ken is incredible, but then there's also the there's a song he's playing on the acoustic guitar, like Pushing You or something, or Pushing Into You.
Yeah.
Push You Around rather, which is also hilarious.
Great film.
I think Greta Gerwig's done a wonderful job of making the kind of plasticated concept of the Barbie universe work in situ. Like when you see like the sets are all really well designed, obviously based on Barbie's dream houses and
They
stuff
don't
like
have
that.
walls in their houses.
They don't have walls. Like she opens the fridge and it's all stickers inside and stuff like that.
It's good, man. It's good. It's really
well put
good.
together. But then also like having Barbie come into the real world and like show how.
I didn't expect that to happen, me.
I kind of expected it from seeing the scenes of them like the behind the scenes shots of them like rollerblading on Venice Beach and stuff like that. Like,
Well, I don't think I watched the trailer when it came out.
I don't think the film could have withstood an hour and a half in the Barbie world.
Of that.
no,
Yeah.
But it sets up the core tension of the film, which is Barbie going to the real world and realizing that she's kind of outdated and like people don't really connect with her. They think like a lot of like the Zoomers and Gen Alpha like see the film's contending that a lot of like the Zoomers and Gen Alpha see Barbie as this kind of old world sexist trope of women. Like
It's all right. You can get
she's not
fat ass
empowered.
white girl Barbies now.
But like there's that scene where she's at high school and she's getting kind of bullied by those 4 girls who are Bratz dolls. Like they're named after the different Bratz dolls, which I thought was a really fun little detail when I found that out.
It's great.
I love that there was such love for the Barbie lore. Like you had fucking Midge, her pregnant friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Michael Cera as Alan.
I love how Midge is just like, but like it was a failed concept. So she's like in this little gated
House,
she can't come out of.
Apparently there's a deleted scene where Midge gives birth.
Oh,
Do you know what I find massively like never saw this coming? Like in a year where the song Peaches from Mario was everything. It would have been the biggest viral song of all time, superseded by Ryan Gosling. Not very long after, I bet Jack Black were fuming.
I think Jack Black was up for it. I think Jack Black likes that kind of like surreal stuff.
Oh, of course he does, yeah. But that song slaps, man. Especially the middle when it goes all fucking like glam rock.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was written and produced by Mark Ronson, which explains the level of quality.
Yeah.
But even like the other songs that like there's that Dua Lipa song that went viral for a little while.
Yeah, it did.
And like just everything's
Billie
put together.
Eilish song.
The Billie Eilish song is incredible, and the scene where it's used in the film.
It's really
Oh
sad.
Christ! It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I
Fun fact again. The second film I have seen in cinema this year, Mario being the third. Great year for cinema.
I think it was such a surprise hit because I think a lot of people went into it with quite low expectations. Like there was kind of there was a lot of pre-release buzz around it, and obviously it came out just before the strike started happening, so they did like the whole interview, like the whole kind of press junket stuff. And I think Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are such nice people anyway that you get engaged watching them have interviews with the press. But I went into it thinking that, because I did the Barbenheimer, so we did Oppenheimer first and then Barbie, which is the natural order because you don't feel good coming out of Oppenheimer.
I'd have done it that way if I'd have did that.
Yeah, but seeing Barbie, like I was expecting like a 7 out of 10 kind of comedy kind of thing. Like I was expecting to laugh a few times. It was going to pass the 6 laugh test and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I came out utterly in love with it. Like I thought it was just the most incredible film. And it was also really weird that a lot of the discourse around it was that it was this like man-hating film. Like all like these
It really isn't.
It's really not. It does take a swipe at toxic masculinity, but then
So it should.
But then it also has this wonderful message that, like, if you actually listen to toxic, if you listen to the insecurities of men, they can come out of it and they can realize that they are just good enough. You know, that's the whole. I mean, Stig's got the fucking T-shirt. I am Knuff.
Yeah, boy.
You know,
I'm Knuff.
I've got a hearing as well. Okay, got me a hearing.
I only went to see it because you two swore blind that I'd love it, and I did love it. I do get annoyed that now Ken's back in the zeitgeist, and I go by that name some places. So people always make the joke. Like South Park when that came out, I had a great time with that as well.
I'm sure you did.
It's annoying.
I think the overriding factor is it's such a funny, well-intentioned, wholesome.
You need
film.
to watch it if you've not.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my watch list.
It's not for kids. It's not for kids.
It's kind of for kids. It has a lot of adult jokes in it, but it doesn't really
I just think kids will get bored of it.
I think if you're 8 and above, it's fine. Amelia loved it. She was 9.
Yeah, but like Biggie's kid.
Oh yeah, it's not for like a 6-year-old, 5 to 6-year-old.
No, but it's definitely got a good message for the kids. And,
yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's. I think it's just a wonderful film, and I think when I leave the cinema and I'm grinning like an idiot, that's how I find my film of the year.
I agree. It's good. It's good. It's a good showing, isn't it?
I also did not expect it to just have the absolute, just to be the best-selling film of the year.
Yeah.
No.
I just did not see droves of people going out in the pink to go in to do it.
It was really funny
Go
when I was in watching Oppenheimer. The amount of like partners of people who'd gone to see Oppenheimer who were there in bright fucking pink.
Yeah.
I'd be pink shorts on. I got my pink shorts on for it.
I did see someone when I went to see Oppenheimer. They had "I Am Become Deaf" in a big pink T-shirt.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've also seen another one which is like I Am Become Ken or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
One of the last thing I'll say about one thing I didn't expect from it was it to take such a vicious swipe at Mattel.
Yeah.
Like,
it's brave, isn't it?
It is so anti-corporate, that film, and it's so funny the way they do it. Like the idea of how Barbie winds up in Mattel's offices, and it's fucking Will Ferrell and a load of blokes in suits who have no fucking clue what a Barbie really should be. And,
what little girls are.
Yeah, or what little girls are. Like, that's the fucking gag, and it's so funny. And I'm amazed that Mattel signed off on it. And apparently they were all for it. Like, they were quite happy to have the piss taken out of them.
If you look at how much money it's created, they're probably going, yeah, we can take a bit of piss taking.
Yeah, we can take a hit.
We're going to earn like over $1 billion from it, so we're good.
And now people are buying our dolls again. Yeah. Yay!
Oh, and even Will Ferrell was good in it. He wasn't too Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was like supporting actor Will Ferrell, and he did it right. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't expect it to be my film of the year, but I'm absolutely happy that it exists. It's such a wonderful film.
Cool.
Next up is Candy. Well, I think we already know.
We already know. We're on to number 1 time. It's The Last of Us. What?
There we go.
It's also my number 1.
What a hell of an adaptation. I think it was like everything most people hoped and dreamed of. They got everything just absolutely down to a T. They expanded parts that really, really worked. They kept parts short and snappy where it needed to be. I just thought it was incredible. That episode 3 is one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen.
That's one of the best episodes ever made.
That is the only reason it is in my number 1 position and in my top 10. The whole show in general's absolutely great. That one episode floored me. I have never cried so much at a TV show in my life. I've never seen a representation of just 2 normal, loving gay men on a primetime show like that without anything else about it.
I think
not mentioned. It's not a thing.
I think also it's the representation of an older gay couple.
Yeah.
Because absolutely beautiful.
Because Bill and Frank meet when they're both in their 30s. Most times when you see gay people on TV, they're either
twinks.
They're either twinks or like they're really old gay people. Whereas you get this kind of middle age to becoming elderly. Because it's like a 25-year story, no, 15-year story for them.
15 years.
And it's
just
fucking
beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's the only thing I want to talk about on this as my number 1. Because the rest of it, it's a brilliant adaptation of something I already love, and there's no flaws in that. I'm not moaning that Bella Ramsey doesn't look like Ellie. I don't care.
I would think outside of episode 3, like you've got to give props to how good Bella Ramsey is as Ellie.
She's brilliant in it. Yeah, she doesn't look like Ellie. I don't give a fuck.
But Ellie's not a real person.
That's not a make or break
that's what I'm
situation.
saying.
As long as she incorporates the character, and I think she elevates Ellie even further than she does in the game. Like she gets that.
Pedro Pascal doesn't look particularly like
well, I
Joel.
mean, Joel's not Hispanic.
Joel, the non-Mexican or Hispanic man. Joel Miller.
That moment in the cage she's fucking great. Bella Ramsey in that moment. Yeah, like I just, for whatever reason, I just completely forgot about this show, but it probably would have been in there. But the whole show is fantastic. It's a little bit rushed. I think they could have done with a few more episodes.
That is my only problem with that.
To flesh out their relationship. I'd have been happy to just see an episode of them on the road talking and nothing fucking happening.
Yeah, there was a 9 month. I think it was like a 9 month gap, wasn't it? Which is where maybe another episode could have.
Yeah.
I think it just needed the one more episode. Like it's basically the back half of it is quite rushed. In
the
places.
problem, the main thing, like how the emotions I've got for this show is, I got so much elation from that third episode. I know I'm roping on about it. So much elation. How distraught I was to go on the internet after it.
Yeah.
Really fucking
they're always
upset me and hurt me. I know, but people saying that show would have been 10 times better without that third episode. I was like, how can you, even if you're the biggest homophobe on how can you not see the human nature, the human side to that?
You say that, but there's also the opposite, because it had a lot of people talking about that episode in a completely positive way. So I think it worked.
Of course.
There's also the people who are morons who didn't pick up on the fact that they were gay in the game.
In the game, yeah.
They weren't gay in the game. I was like, did you not listen to the dialogue?
They were just good friends who lived together.
Yeah,
and read gay porn mags. But I don't know. I got so much emotion from that, and it was great being on that journey with all you guys at the same time. We all watched it every week, which again sometimes is a brilliant thing, isn't it? When you have to watch it every week, you get your water cooler moments. We all chatted about it every week on the pod.
You get a brilliant podcast about it.
We did a podcast about it, and it was a moment. And this is the year when did we get House of the Dragon this year?
Yeah. Oh, was it last year?
Last year. Late last year.
It's like it because it felt to me like a Game of Thrones when it was at peak moment in telly.
It was just it was very talky and had just enough action in to break up the talk.
Yes, yeah, and I've never cried like that at a TV show, and it earns a top spot.
I loved how they expanded the Sam and Henry story.
Yeah,
it's just so good,
and also that they used a deaf actor to play Sam,
and he was so good.
Yeah, but there's that scene which it's kind of in the game but not in the game, when they're in the tunnels and they get to this kind of creche area and you see Ellie and Sam just playing as kids, and you get this moment where you have to remember that like Ellie's 14.
Yeah, kids. Yeah.
She's a kid. And it's so
and we
got
the Left Behind episode, didn't we, as well?
We did, yeah.
Yes, we did.
Which was
stunning.
Really well done and really well positioned.
And again, people on the internet saying, "What are they kissing for?"
It's in the fucking game, this one.
I know.
Another shout out for Nicole Parker, who played Sarah in the first episode.
Oh yeah,
She nailed that.
She was literally lead actor on that first episode, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She's been cast in something quite big, I think, based on that.
Like she managed to nail like the horror of like the end of that episode.
It's just
on the little snippet videos at the beginning of a couple of episodes where it was just trying to fill out the world.
Yeah, the lore.
That was really clever.
Where the infection started in Jakarta and it was passed through flour.
Yeah.
She's just bring back. She's been cast in How to Train Your Dragon, a live action.
Yeah, there you go.
And I would suspect that it might have come off the back of that performance.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, because she's playing Astrid, isn't she? And I remember the usual types kicking off about, you can't have a black girl playing that role.
Oh god, honest, I don't know how people wake up on a morning, mate. Just dying
enjoy
asleep.
great acting and
Fucking
great stuff.
morons.
Get up and moan about stuff. Anyway, we're not moaning about things, we're celebrating things. And
Celebration.
The Last of Us TV
Number
show
one.
was fantastic. It's Oodles and Candy's number one. It also gave us an amazing meme towards the end of this year with Frank Reynolds in The Last of Us.
Yes.
Yes.
Although that's
Yes,
a
it is.
game. That's the game, innit?
That's
Never
the
mind.
game.
It don't matter though.
Yeah,
It don't matter.
it
It,
worked.
helped.
But it gave the world Daddy
Yes.
Pascal.
Yeah. Yes, as my wife called the show Joel. Are we watching Joel
Yes.
tonight? She didn't call it Last of Us. She called the show Joel.
That is a state of mind.
Was your wife disappointed that there were 2 episodes without Joel?
We did that Photoshop for you called Joel, didn't I?
Yeah.
On the poster. Joel.
I mean, Pedro Pascal, for people that thought he was maybe originally miscast, he
Yeah.
fucking nailed Joel
did,
down
yeah.
to a T.
I think
He's so good.
I think that's probably because he hasn't played a role like that before. So like everyone expected him to be a bit more of like loose and charismatic, where like we hadn't really seen him do like maybe outside
Somber.
of Narcos. It hadn't done kind of somber, traumatized.
Mate, in
older man.
Narcos, he's still shagging prostitutes and
Yeah.
drinking all the time.
Like most people see Pascal as either the Mandalorian or as Oberyn Martell.
He's so unlike it in real life as well.
Sand
Like he's
Viper.
such a boisterous, funny
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I did enjoy his press.
him
tours
and
for
Bella
this one.
Ramsey are just absolute besties. I love their little friendship.
Yeah,
And he
he adopted
was-
her in real life, didn't he?
Yeah.
In a way.
Well, yeah, because he was also like the most supportive person when she decided to come out as non-binary.
Yeah.
I
Oh
keep- we
yeah. I
keep saying
remember
she,
that.
they.
Yeah.
They decided to come out as non-binary, and he was like, "No, go do it. I'll support you. I'll be your shield for this one." And he's
Yeah.
such a
I forgot
fucking
about
lovely
that.
bloke.
Yeah.
It's just a special show, and again, it's not even a horror like it could have been. It's just a human condition
The
show.
the scene after the sniper alley when the bloater comes out is so good though, and it's all practical effects as well. Like most of like
blew
the,
up half of the street, didn't they?
yeah, most of the infected are all people in costumes.
Oh, that
And, like, I
child
remember
one
watching
as
that.
well. Oh my god.
The child.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the fact that they managed to get like enough actors in place in makeup to do that kind of rushing over the
Yeah.
edge thing, and like it's like when it does do the horror stuff, it does it so well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just what Candy mentioned then. I kind of love modern day film and TV now is not shying away from showing children zombies and creatures. Like
Yeah,
It's
it
effective.
would happen.
yeah, it
It would
shows
happen.
what actually would happen, and like I appreciate that. Like I don't need to be dumbed down and oh no, there's no children here for some reason. So yeah, great show. Can't wait for season 2. Let's go on about that.
Don't mention it.
It's only gonna
Oh,
do
it's
the second
gone
game.
woke. They're going to say it's gone woke this season too.
They already
It's gone
said
woke.
it went woke with episode 3.
Oh my god, it's gonna get worse if it follows the story
Yeah.
of Last of Us Part 2.
Can we get
Woke.
can we get Rhea Ripley in as Abby?
Abby.
Yeah. She's got the muscles for it.
Right, I think Biggie's number 1 might be my number 1.
I think
I
is it
went
Dad's Army?
for Spider-Man.
Yes.
Across the multiverse.
Spider-Verse.
Sorry, Spider-Verse. So
Yeah, it's my number 1 as well.
everyone in this film just deserves, in my opinion, multiple plaudits for what they achieved with this. The
Keep it light on spoilers because I haven't watched
performances-
this one yet.
I also haven't seen it. So
none in there at all. The performances are just top notch. The writing managed to what I thought top to the previous film. I was really excited, but for the trepidation about the sequel, whether they could sort of deliver the same sort of quality of the first. And I think they've gone and raised the bar once again. The animation throughout is just incredible, and you need to just rewatch it. I've seen it 3 times already, just to truly appreciate what they did. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. And I'm really, really angry that I have to wait for the third part because it quite possibly will be one of the best film trilogies that we've ever had, and it's animated. I just think, no matter what Stu says about Studio Ghibli, because I agree, their animation is just up there. But I think what they've achieved with this is just something else. And there's going to be people that try to copy it. I started watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the other day with Faith, and had to stop that halfway through just because of time constraints. But I could see what they were trying to achieve there, and it's really good. But yeah, the animators in this. It's just for a film, an animated movie to top my list is how good this is. Just incredible.
I agree. I think it's a absolutely outstanding achievement. In you, if you've watched that first one and think this is doing things I've never seen before, which it was, this just tops it, and it just throws in all these different styles and all these other Spider-Men in there, Spider-Women. Like, it's just, some of them are outstanding, and some of them are just literally background, blink and you'll miss it. But when he gets to the Spider-Verse thing, it's just so good. And the music, the score in this film is absolutely incredible. I think it's Daniel Pemberton. Just having a quick look, and I can't find it. Yes, it is Daniel Pemberton. There is a couple of tracks on this, which is the Cross the Spider-Verse, which is plays right at the end as the kind of film's ending and going into the credits, and the Nueva York train chase. Just incredible. And when you've seen the film and then listen to that track back, you can just see the film in your mind playing as that track plays, and it just gets you
a good sign.
emotionally into that moment again. Miles Morales is just so good in this as well.
Is it still a very hip hop influenced soundtrack? Like
yes.
The orchestral score with like hip hop beats to it.
Yeah.
I really like that about the first film.
Yeah, it still leans into all of that, but obviously just like the kind of score in the background of it all is amazing. And yeah, I don't know what else to say really, other than that it's an incredible
Spider-Man
achievement in animation, and it's clearly going to win the Oscar. Can't see anything to taking this. If it were up to me,
and the character arcs as well.
Yeah, it should be in a normal film, not just animated film.
Yeah,
I
can't wait to watch it.
I mean, the character arcs in there as well. Just they all get their moments. It's brilliantly done. No one really feels left out, and obviously you got the final part to come out as well. I mean, I was in the cinema and someone shouted out when it came up to be concluded. They just went, "What?" Because I didn't realise it was going to be a third part. I had no idea.
It was meant
genuinely.
to be. It was originally called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, and they took out the Part 1. And that's why I knew, because I was watching it thinking this film's been going on 2 hours, nearly 2.5 hours now. You can tell it's wrapping. I could tell it was wrapping up. And I was like, and I know it's going to be concluded, so I was kind of fine with it because I already knew that. But yeah, as Biggie says, the character arcs in this are amazing, especially for Gwen and Miles. There is some really great downtime moments with Miles and his parents.
And the villain
really
as well,
Spot,
is just incredible. So good. So good.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the origin of the villain is just amazing. It's just that they've gone. I cannot believe that like the writers of this have just gone, you know that bit, yeah, we could make a villain out of that, and they've done it. And
because he's not great in the comic at all.
And they've created this whole potentially multiverse breaking villain out of it from this one innocuous moment in the previous film.
Yeah,
I obviously I haven't seen it, but one thing that I really enjoyed seeing around the time that it came out. And Candy will have probably seen this as well, was the amount of artists on Instagram who were inspired by the work. Like so many people like doing really wonderful fan art of the characters in the situation, but also taking like the inspiration from like those grand shots. Like it was the same when Spider-Verse came out, the first film rather. There were so many people who did that shot of Miles doing the leap of faith, where it like zooms right out and you see the city and it's like he's
upside
rising
down.
Yeah,
compared to him.
Yeah. And there were so many things like that were taking like iconic shots from this film, or is it Miguel who was like the leader of the multiverse Spider-Man?
Yeah.
So much thirsty fan art of him. But it's like I did as part of my drawing chances, I did a Spider-Gwen image drawing to try and play in that style, that kind of weird, slightly 3D style that they have for it. And like I adore the art style of those films. Like it's something that I've enjoyed seeing bleeding into other things. Like so I haven't seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I've seen Nimona. I've seen Nimona, which takes a lot from what the original Spider-Verse film did. And
There's a few films that have done that, like Mitchell's versus the Machines, the Teenage Mutant
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles. They're all taking this
like
kind of
3D but drawn,
but
kind of
mixture,
look.
mixture
Yeah.
of different animations and pulling them together. Which I appreciate because it looks really great.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing this like Renaissance because you get like the Pixar look, which is becoming cartoony features but with like realistic skin, which is actually starting to weird me out at this point. Whereas I'm liking these ultra stylized, like, yes, they're 3D animated, but it looks like someone's actually drawn them by
so
hand.
pretty.
I'm really enjoying this art
I
style.
can't imagine the work that went into this film. I really can't.
Which is why when they said the next one will be out in April 2024, I was like, will it fuck?
Well, definitely not now that they've been on
Yeah.
strike for like 100 days.
Great, that's it.
Awesome.
Actually, I've just changed my number one. It's The Boy and the Heron. It's not even out yet. But
Can't do that. Can't do that.
no,
You've seen the TikToks about Robert Pattinson doing the voice of the heron.
I've seen everyone say how amazing it is and how it's one of
Excellent.
Miyazaki's best films.
Excellent.
So.
Shh. We'll get to that when you watch it. Don't worry.
No, it won't, 'cause I won't be here. It's Christmas break.
Come back with it. Come back with it. But yes, thank you very much, Stig, for leading the parade on that one, and thanks for everyone putting all the effort in and watching things this year. And I believe everything was from this year on this one. So
Yes.
Congratulations, Biggie.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good job. Good job. Do we have any feedback?
We do. We have a few bits. So, as Todd Story has said, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and Super Mario Brothers movie.
I was actually going to,
Puss in
whilst we were
Boots.
talking about the
So
animation
good.
about Spider-Verse, I was actually going to mention Puss in Boots because the animation in that's incredible. Does the same kind of
It
thing,
is.
really.
Fucking hell is that? I've never even
Yes,
heard of
it's the
it.
same sort of thing, like really stylized 3D animation, but with like a painterly style. It's great.
Considering
Yeah, I've
that
heard-
came
I've
from
heard
like
lots
the
of good things.
Shrek verse,
Oh, it's from Shrek.
the actual like animation, it's just a massive step up from the
I've
last
only seen the first Shrek.
the last
Didn't like it.
like all of that. So it's I agree. I was surprised at how good that film was, and actually its themes as well of kind of like pending death and
Yeah.
Being a cat.
anxiety and stuff. Yeah,
And he goes on to say, for TV, it was Silo, Slow Horses, which is great. You should watch that. Skinwalker Ranch, and something called Curses. Anyone ever seen Curses?
I've heard quite a bit about curses. I've heard some good things.
Oh, no, but they're going on the list.
I mean, Silo's great. Slow Horses, I haven't talked about since I watched the first episode.
Is that the
but
Gary
it's-
Oldman one?
That's the Gary Oldman one. Very good.
Yeah,
It's-
I've heard.
It's a good thriller, but it's also kind of a send-up of thrillers.
It's Cockney one, isn't it? They're all Cockneys.
They're all Cockneys, but they're all like MI5 failures. And Gary Oldman plays a bastard. Oh, he's horrible in it. So good.
He's always been
But he's not
good
a
in some
baddie, he's a
films.
goodie. But he's just a bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lee Davies has said, yet again, I'm writing in to say that I haven't done the thing and that I haven't seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm sure this is going to be the best film. So I'll just say Oppenheimer for top film, and TV-wise, it has to be Succession.
Good lad.
Yeah, not arguing with any of those. Planty has sent a lot in. He says, hello, lovelies. Hey, you've all got opinions this week, and haven't you? And mostly you're right. So that's nice.
Yeah.
This year I've missed all the big stuff at the cinema because my View only puts on one subtitle show in a week, which is pretty shit and means I only saw Indiana
fucking
Jones and
sucks.
Guardians of the Galaxy this year, and both were just all right.
Guardians
That
3 was
fucking
great.
sucks. I like Guardians 3 as well.
Yeah. I think
That
it's
sucks that they only do one subtitle film.
Yeah, I think,
what the fuck's that about?
yeah, Planty's partner has hearing issues, I think, so they have to see
I know,
it in
but it
subtitles.
sucks still, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
So I've been limited to stuff I can get on physical media, the streaming services, and the high seas. There's a lot of stuff from this year that I didn't hate. Bank of Dave on Netflix made me cry during the recording of my own podcast, which was pretty fucking cringe.
Wow.
I mean, Bank of Dave's a good one. It's a working class against the corporations kind of thing.
Oh, sign me up, brother.
Brilliant. I think it's based on a true story about a bloke that basically sets up his own bank down south somewhere
That's right, yeah.
and
Sign me up.
takes
Sign
on the
me up.
banks. Super Mario Bros. Was pretty important to me because we've waited 30 fucking years for a good Mario film. Now, if you believe the
There's only
internet
one good
Planty,
Mario
apparently
film.
the first Mario film was better.
No. It's not.
I swear,
It's not.
when those pieces came out and that film got a retrospective piece, it wasn't that bad, actually. It was fucking atrocious. It's not a good film.
You have to
It's not a
remember,
Mario
that film
awful.
was scripted and screenwritten as not a Mario film. It was just attached at the last moment.
Yeah, bullshit.
It's not a Mario film. There's only one good Mario film.
Pretty sure Dennis Hopper
Came out-
only did it for the cocaine.
He got paid in cocaine. Grams and grams of the shit.
I guess you could also use the above criteria for the phenomenal TMNT Mutant Mayhem, which is
The only good Turtles film.
which is the Turtles film the 11-year-old
one's
and me,
alright.
don't make it weird,
It's
was desperate
not.
for.
It is.
It's so good.
The first one hasn't aged well, but it was kind of good for what it was.
Jim Henson's best work.
TV this year has been pants. Other than the last 10 minutes of the final episode of Succession, which has lived rent-free in my head since I watched it. I mean, remember, he is the oldest boy. So I'm going to give you my pick of the BBC Christmas schedule from 1993.
Oh, wow.
It's gone full Biggie.
He has. 20th of December, Telly Addicts Christmas Special. 2.4 Children Christmas Special. Never trusted a badger since, he says.
Nope.
21st of December, Defenders of the Earth repeat. And Children's Hospital. Do you fucking remember Children's Hospital? Jesus Christ, what a depressing show. 22nd of December, Waiting for God Special and Carry On Nurse. Part of the These films are dead cheap, so we'll put loads on this season. December 23rd, Top of the Pops with added Jimmy Savile Gropery.
Oh, God.
And Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun. Wow.
Christmas Eve, Bruce's Christmas Generation Game. Nice to see you again this year.
To see you die.
There you go.
That's right.
And some singing from a big church. Christmas Day, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for 6 hours straight. The Queen's Anus Horribilis speech. Sorry, Anus.
It was a horrible anus.
Yeah. Only Fools and Horses Christmas Special and your dad falling over pissed.
Sounds lit.
Oh, my dad not being there in the first.
Oh, now look what you've done, Planety.
So
Go
yeah,
back.
that was
Go back from the shop.
1993's Christmas season on the BBC.
Amazing.
I was giving you this nostalgia there, Biggie, innit? Oh, were you
Hang on, is
actually,
Empire-
were you
is
on the
that-
season in 93?
He will have been.
I got a skeletric.
Is Empire
this
of the
no,
Sun
95
Christian
I
Bale
was.
film?
95.
Isn't it? It's a Christian Bale
But I was
film,
in
isn't it?
full employment in 93.
Full employment. Mate, I was a child, a baby in 99.
I know.
I was 8.
I was 7.
A little boy. I was a little boy running around going, yay!
I got my
With a
Mega Drive
stick
in
and a
1993
football.
for Christmas.
I got a skeletric.
Oh,
Oh, maybe it
that's
was a
so
Mega Drive
old.
that year. No, I think it was a Mega Drive the year before.
I got a bag of sticks and an acorn. You don't know your fucking barn, you lot.
That's what you're getting this year.
Womp womp.
Good.
Zenos has said,
womp.
I watched 2 films this year, which is technically an infinite percentage increase over last year. They were both excellent, though, and it's legitimately difficult to decide whether I'd push forward Barbie or Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. However, I think that most people have seen Barbie, so go watch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Seriously, go and watch it. I know it's a Puss in
never
Boots
even
film,
heard
but
of
trust
it.
me, it's worth it.
It's great.
Do I have to have seen all the Shrek films?
Nah, you don't have to
No.
you don't even have to have seen the first Puss in Boots film,
I didn't know there was a first Puss in Boots film.
Oh, it was shite. It was really bad.
which is why people
Didn't go to
thought,
see
how the
this new
fuck did
one."
this come out like after that first one? But no,
Was it like 15 years later as well, or something like that? It was like a ridiculous amount of
I
time
didn't
later.
know there
from
was
the
a
first Puss in-
Shrek multiverse. The first film was shite, so I never went to see any others.
I mean, there's, 5 Shrek films?
no, far.
What?
Four
Shreks.
Shrek films, then now 2 Puss in Boots films.
Yeah,
I think they're supposed to be making another Shrek film at some point.
based on the end of this, yeah.
My only relationship with Shrek is in bad memes, when he's just dancing or something like this. I don't really like Shrek.
I mean, Shrek is the reason why if someone ends a sentence with the word "some," I immediately start thinking of Smash Mouth
Smash Man. Oh, the song. Oh, that fucking terrible
because you get
song.
the somebody. Yeah, that. Yeah.
Right.
Moving on from that, because I'm totally not putting that at the end of the Patreon section. Angry Kurt says, I haven't seen much TV this year. I've seen plenty of documentaries I enjoyed, like Drive to Survive. and Clarkson's Farm 2, which was great, but they won't appeal to everyone. I think Succession was the best thing I watched, but also a huge shout out to Happy Valley, which was incredible. Biggie?
Yes, mate.
Never heard of that.
Yes.
It's on the normal
Honourable
telly, that
mention, that one.
Oodles.
Somewhat.
It's on normal telly.
Don't exist.
I want to preface my film choice by saying that I'm yet to see some of this year's bangers like Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. But what I have seen of the two, the two that stood out were Creed 2, Air,
3.
and Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. That's 3.
It was Creed
Yeah,
3.
Creed 2's
No,
older
Creed
than that.
3.
Creed 3. But that's also 3 films, Kurt. Get your numbers right. Which I gave 4 stars to all of them, and I find it hard to split them in terms of crowning a favourite.
Air's better than Creed 3. We did it for you.
Did it for you there, mate. We found that.
Was Mission Impossible good, Stig?
Yeah, very good.
Oh, yeah, it's all right.
Dum, 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 dum. I still haven't seen any of them either, apart from the first one.
Oh, that's a podcast.
No.
Yeah.
Fun fact that rhythm, that dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
is MI in Morse code.
Oh.
Fun fact, the more you know.
Yeah, I only found that out today. I also want to shout out Gran Turismo, which I know you will all scoff at, but I genuinely enjoyed it.
Candy loved it.
Hang on. I genuinely enjoyed it and preferred it to the Mario film as far as video game-based movies go.
Candy called it
what you
aggressively
It
average.
was aggressively average.
In fact, it's probably my favourite video game film.
Oh, it's so hard in the middle.
My God.
I knew that would
You
offend
need to
them.
watch Uwe Boll's House of the Dead. That'll change your mind. That'll be your favourite
Watch.
video.
Oh, yeah,
game.
that,
1990
that'll shift the Overton window.
Watch the 1994 manga classic Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And then also go back and watch the 1991 Super Mario Brothers, the movie, and appreciate what you have this year.
Also,
I'm not
Kurt-
even joking. That manga's fucking mint.
Also, Kurt said that
That
I
is
hadn't
good.
mentioned that it was based on a true story. I think I did.
You did mention
Yeah,
that.
I
You
think
did
I
mention
did.
that, yeah.
Yeah, he knows that because he informed us that it was when we were ripping on it once. He went, actually, it's a true story. We were like, this wouldn't happen. And then he put in the Discord, actually, it's a true story. I was like, okay, I'll just back in my box.
But that's the feedback for this week.
Cool. As usual, all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Patrons you'll have had, Kenny Potter, would they, Stig? Yes, they would have. He's given me a thumbs up on an audible medium. Thank you, mate. Also, patrons, look out for this month's... I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet, but you could... Have they seen the vote yet? Have they seen it? Will they know by now? I don't understand.
It's already voted for. It's already doing it. I mean, the vote was literally for one thing because we're doing it.
We're doing the Nativity. We're doing a play. So if you're not a patron, now's probably the time to become one because you get to be in our play. We have a very special celebrity guest on this episode. I'm not going to tell you who, but it's very, very special and a celebrity guest.
It was difficult to book.
Like when you... really difficult to book. I mean, Darren Day's not cheap. Oh, shit.
It is pantomime season after all.
It is pantomime season.
No, it
and
isn't.
That's Oh yes, it is. That's basically what we're doing. We're going to do. We've done this before on an episode that disappeared. We had to cow gun for legal reasons, out of court settlements. But we are going back to our thespian style, an episode where we're just literally going to do a play because we just like to do it. It's fun and chaotic. And if you're not a patron, now's the time to do it. For our Christmas, it'd be a treat. But more importantly than that, the next time, it's not next episode, is it? But it's very soon.
It is the next episode.
Is it? Oh, shit.
Next Saturday.
The next time you see us, we'll be live. It's the Christmas office party. Is it the third one?
Third live.
Third one.
Fourth.
No, third live, fourth one in
Fourth, isn't
total.
it?
Can you believe we've made it this far?
Hey, this is episode 165, mate.
Jeez, Louise,
Sa-
pepper cheese.
Saturday, 16th of December, 8 p.m, twitch.tv/modern
Be there or be
escapism.
square.
Get in there. Candy's going to be hammered. Oodles is probably going to be hammered as well. I think he's getting the beers out for this one.
I've already bought them.
I have a small request from you, Candy.
Oh.
Can Candyland be a Christmas themed? Can you think up some absolute batshit Christmas themed Candyland.
Already thought of a Candyland
Yes.
for it, and yes, confirmed it is Christmas themed.
Again, if you've never joined us on our Christmas extravaganza, it's alive. It's on twitch.tv/modern escapism. We interact with the chat. We've got presents. I've received like 4 packages for my Secret Santa this year, but from different handwritings. So I don't think some of them are Secret Santa, but I just daren't open them. So, that's gonna say, one might be a bill. It might just be a bill from like fucking
A bill in
HMRC
disguise.
or something.
A bill addressed to Oodles O'Dim.
Yeah, it might be a subpoena. I'm just not having it. I'm not having it. But yeah, it's gonna be. It's just always fun, and I'm drinking. I'm cracking the drink out. I think I've deserved it this year.
You do. You deserve a good drink.
You do.
Yeah, I'm going to be plastered on after 2 drinks. I'm going to be fucked. But it's just going to be brilliant. We interact with the chat. It's a real party. Bring your own beer, bring your own snacks. But we usually dress up. We've all got Christmas jumpers on, Christmas themes. It's just going to be incredible. Please, it's our biggest event of the year. We just want to see some numbers. We like to see those high numbers on the live one. But again, if you can't make it, don't worry, because we'll put it all up on YouTube for you in all its chaotic glory. We're just so giving, and this is the season to give. But yeah,
Also, Candy will
Normally
get pissed
this would-
and buy you a sub.
Probably.
She might
I've
get
started
tits out.
drinking already, so get ready.
she might get.
It's not
knocked
true.
out,
I've got no
lads.
money this year. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
didn't stop you last year.
Might
You
get-
said the same
Did
thing.
it not? No wonder I'm broke.
You gave me a subscription, whatever it is, subscription to my own channel.
Did you enjoy it?
No, I've never watched it. Shite Twitch.
'Cause we
Only
stream
when we're
3
not
times
on
a
it.
year.
Yeah, but yeah, please join
How's
us. But
Biggie Dies
it's
coming?
usually the end of. Yeah, Biggie Dies starting again January the 2nd, coming in your eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
Move it along, Oodles. You're struggling to end the
It's not
podcast
that
here.
kind of stream.
Because I've been on too much Lucozade. Sponsored by Lucozade. But yes, it's usually the end of the show. But before that, I'm so sorry, everybody. It's a trip down Candyland.
And now, what's up in Candyland?
Well, speaking of Christmas themed, actually, don't worry, it's quick. It's just an observation, just a little fleeting thought I had today. We have that tradition of leaving like a mince pie and a sherry or like a cookie or something out for Santa
Or an elf.
or an elf, whatever he prefers, by the fireplace. If we all left £1 out, or maybe let's call it just give what you can. So £1, £5, £10. There's 2.2 billion households, according to Google, in the world. If we all put like £1 or a £5 or a £10 in, we'd all get better presents. Like, he's doing it out the goodness of his own heart at the moment. If we put some money in, some serious money, like obviously, like he'd take 25, but no, probably 40% away because he'd have to be VAT registered
Tax.
in
yeah.
tax. That would we'd probably get better presents.
Are you talking about bribing Santa Claus?
Well, the thing is, here's the
Saint
other
Nicholas.
thing, right? I'm not saying
There might
bribing.
be a catch in all this.
Well, we want to keep him on the good side because he also has the power to come in and rub all our houses. Like, we're inviting him down that chimney. We're asking him in.
I don't have a chimney.
A radiator. You're
Does he come through the radiator?
The
Got
radiator.
steam.
Yeah.
Steam from the
I
radio.
thought he's a man of extreme
He
stature.
operates.
That's
Or,
what
you
that
know,
whistling
like,
sound is on Christmas Eve.
all that spinny
opening the
thing
bleed
in your
valve.
kitchen window that goes.
I like how Candy thinks I turn my radiators on.
I didn't say they had to be
They've
on.
never been on, have they?
No, I didn't know they worked.
Yeah, he comes in
Comes
through
out
your
my dormant
ventilation
boiler.
or through your floorboards in my case, because rats come in through my floorboards. So I think Santa Claus.
I remember once one of my
Sorry, go
relatives
back to that, Candy.
saying-
Rats come through your floorboards.
Yeah, you can hear him underneath my house. It's horrible.
I thought you live in a flat.
I do, on the bottom floor.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, I remember a relative once telling me he had a magic key to get into anyone's house.
Yeah, that's the work.
The official
That's
response.
the workaround when they don't have a chimney.
Or when you live in
never
a
had
tower
chimney.
block.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point being, magic key.
He hasn't got a fob to get in, though, has he?
Magic key or key fob, or whether he comes through the radiator or whether he comes through that spinny window in the kitchen that people have got that I don't understand what it's for. He could rub
In the 70s, they've got it.
I've got one.
You've got a spinny
Yeah,
window
you know
fan
that it's about like the size of a sort.
from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's for the chip pan. When you got the
Have you
chip
got
pan
single?
on.
Have you got single glazing in your kitchen?
Of course she
I've got
has.
single
Of course
glazing.
she
I
has.
live in a listed building. I have single everything.
Fucking hell.
Do you think Candy
She's got a
like
chip pan fan.
leaves because this thing she's got with Santa? She just leaves like a trail of
Rose petals.
Condoms.
mince pies leading to the bedroom.
Condoms.
Santa walks in.
Piece of candy. Ooh,
See-
piece of candy.
Yeah.
Sees the
And then he
game.
gets a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Sees the
He
game
gets
of
a
bed.
piece
Sees the
candy
game
on
of bed and just turns around.
No, I'll put it on red and green for him. That's his faves. Put a couple of bottles of Coke around. He'll be loving it.
I wouldn't leave him shit. He's not coming to my house because I'm not having him getting all the fucking glory. My kid's thinking he's bought him stuff when it's my hard-earned graft that's paid for them presents.
Well, that's because,
Fuck it.
well,
So
maybe
how
he'd
many
visit you
rings-
if Santa was in your heart.
He never came last year.
Santa gets like a few presents and the rest come from us. So I would do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
same.
a bit smarter. The cheap ones. Santa doesn't like you that much, kids.
Yeah.
Gives you the shit colouring
Oh,
book.
yeah,
Daddy
like-
got you the
the new
PlayStation.
pants.
I bought you those pikes. I bought you those tablets.
Yeah, I
fuck it,
bought you
I
the
bought it.
pikes.
Santa gave you like the LOL doll.
I wonder how many ring cameras have caught Santa going creeping
Yeah.
along,
It's too fast
trying
for him,
to
mate.
get up onto the
Too
top of
fast
the
for him.
house.
Man moves at light speed.
No, it'd just be a quick blizzard
Yeah.
that went past.
Are you not seen Arthur Christmas? You seen the fucking behind the scenes of it all?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Technological marvel, that's
Yeah.
like.
I prefer the middle ages like Germanic version with Krampus. I prefer Krampus.
Yeah,
Well, the one that eats naughty children.
yeah.
Yeah, because if you are naughty, you're dead. If you're not naughty, you survive. That's your treat.
Metal.
Congratulations.
Metal.
You live to fight another year.
You know, I was just thinking how weird it is that we have these films about Santa and you watch them with your
Yeah.
kids and then they never question it. They never watch those and go, he's going really slow from house to house. Like,
Yeah.
is that what it's like
Daddy,
in real life?
why is Santa Claus Tim Allen?
Yeah, like,
Sir Richard Attenborough, I seen him on Jurassic Park. Why is it the same
It's the spirit of Christmas. Anyway, that's the end of the show.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you for listening. Patrons will see you in the green room in a second.
actually,
or so.
one quick thing. Do not,
Here we go.
no, don't leave,
Every week this.
don't leave Santa, because it just came to me. Don't leave Santa a quid. Spend it on us. £1 a month.
Worth
Hey.
interrupting. We
Always
are
be
That's
closing.
Santa.
We'll be your Christmas daddies.
Always be closing.
Oh, yeah.
ABC. Always
Ho,
be closing.
ho,
Baby.
ho.
Bye. See you later.
Ciao.